Oh, very good morning to you. It's day 3 here in Aberdeen Sports Village for the Scottish National Age Group Championships. So we're well into the meet now. Session 7 coming up, the third morning of heat swims. I'm Duncan McKinnell and I'll be taking you through the action this morning along with my friend and colleague Tony Rose.
Morning everybody, morning Duncan. Well, a cracking morning swimming ahead of us, I think.
Absolutely, I had some storming finals last
they were
night.
really
Absolutely
good.
Wonderful to watch, and hopefully there'll be more of the same today. We've got a good lineup for you this morning. We start off with male and open 200 metres backstroke. We're seeing Dean Fern back in the pool after his Scottish junior record on the first night of competition.
Yeah, won 200 fly yesterday as well, didn't he? So
he did, yeah. I think 3 gold medals so far
not
for
bad.
him. Then we've got 400 freestyle for females. Phoebe Arbuckle, a very strong distance freestyler. Susie McNair as well.
So they're in the same age. No, they're in different age groups. So they'll will not be swimming against each other today because they're in different heats. But both had strong performances this weekend already.
Yep, so for the older swimmers, the 400s are heats and finals, which will be quite a test for them to swim the finals later on tonight. Then we got the splash and dash, 50 freestyle, both male and female swimming that, so that will be fast and furious. Going to be some good stuff there. Dean Fern will be back again there. Stefan Kravis will be beside him, so that will be a good one.
That will be a good race.
Previous heat, Harry Sharp, the Warren speed merchant.
Yeah, no, that will be a good heat and a good final this evening. Harry and Dean will likely be making that, so something to look forward to this morning and this evening.
Yeah, the females, Ariana Stokes from Morpeth with a strong team up here in Aberdeen, so she will be going in the final heat. We've got Ailey Robertson in the heat before her. Catherine Renfrew's always strong.
She's
so
had a great meet.
Good one. And then we got 100 breaststroke and 200 butterfly. Coco Croxford looked very strong yesterday in the 400 IM and particularly in that fly section. And then 1500 freestyle. We've got 3 heats of that for you to enjoy towards the end of the session. And then we've got some relays to finish on. It's female 4x100 freestyle this time, and we start off with the 14 to 16s and then finish off the session with the 17 and overs. So there've been some terrific relays as well. Absolutely nail-biting stuff, so hopefully we'll get more of that today. In the 14 to 16s, Warrender and East Lothian have very similar entry times. And then in the seniors, Warrender will be looking to do the double, but they're going to have a battle, I think, with South Lanarkshire in that one and Aberdeen Dolphin.
Yeah, they're all within less than half a second, so that's going to be a cracking final to finish us off with.
So plenty of stuff to whet your appetite here, so settle down on this Friday morning for what should be an excellent morning swimming. We start off with the male and open 200 backstroke. And hopefully that will get us off to a flying start. So there will be 9 heats of this. The lineup for the first heat: Arthur Templeton for Aberdeen Dolphin, Lucas Rattray at Fafford, his teammate Tom Massey in lane 2, Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow in 3, Oliver Dixon of Warrender Bass in lane 4, Ewan Nielsen of Cumbernauld in 5, Cameron O'Donnell of South Lanarkshire in 6, Edward Mills of Highland in 7, Jonathan McLean of East Lothian in 8, and Dean Binney goes for Inverclyde in lane 9. So fastest entry times here, 2:28. There's a couple of swimmers, 2:28.7 exactly. Oliver Dixon and Ewan Nielsen, and then two on 2:29s. Tom Massey and Daniel Hendry. So could be close.
Should be a close one here, and it's still pretty even. Maybe out there on the far side. Got Jonathan McLean and Edward Mills, East Lothian and Highland swim team. Edward was a finalist at North Districts last year, and he's the one that's probably just got the edge at the moment, I think. Also going well in 4. That's Oliver Dixon, the Warrender swimmer.
Yep, so lane 7 is Edward Mills. You can see up there towards the top of your screen, but just turning ahead of him in lane 3 is Daniel Hendry. So he has the edge at the turn. You see there 1:10.70, so only a tenth in it at the halfway mark. Nice shot as they swim away from the start end there, and you can see those two at the front still. Lane 3, Daniel Hendry is the City of Glasgow swimmer. City of Glasgow were second after day one in the points position. They've now moved up to first. Of course, they are the reigning top club from last year, so they'll be looking to hold on to that.
Yeah, they had an excellent night last night. They had lots of swimmers scattered across all the finals last night, so not surprising they've taken back the lead, I think.
Yeah, so Daniel then is the one who is going to bring it down this last length, I think. 1:48.72 as he heads for home. See whether anybody can challenge him. Still up there, fairly close in lane 7 is Edward Mills, but well, it's more than a body length gap between them now, so that is going to be the 1-2. So first blood to City of Glasgow, Daniel Hendry taking the win. So nice swim from him, 2:25.29.
Oh, that's a nice improvement for Daniel.
So that's a good improvement to get us started there.
Yep.
Daniel entered 2:29.01, so 4 seconds knocked off. That's what we like to see. Edward Mills second, Oliver Dixon in third. So one heat complete. Just the 8 to go.
It should be in this next one. We have in lane 0 Lucas Snowden from Aberdeen, Alexander McNiven, Warren de Bass in 1, Jamie Hay from Gary in 2, Cole Murphy, City of Glasgow in 3, Finlay Bennett, South Lanarkshire in 4, and 5 is Jake Breakin from Aberdeen Dolphins, 6 is James Aberdeen from South Aberdeenshire, 7 Theo Adebo from University of Aberdeen Performance, his teammate Stuart Patton is in 8, and another University of Aberdeen Performance swimmer, Josh Nicholl, is in 9. Strong Aberdeen contingent across the 4 clubs here. Aberdeen, Aberdeen Dolphins, South Aberdeenshire and University of Aberdeen Performance all represented. Let's see how
good starts up at the top of your screen. Lanes 8 and 9, Struan Payton and Josh Nicholl, both from the University of Aberdeen, and they turn 1 and 2, 33.45. So about the same split as the first heat at the 50. So these two lads pushing it out well. Be quite nice, I think, to have your teammate alongside you.
Yeah, you kind of expect they'll be training with each other on a daily basis, so we'll know exactly where they're at.
Yeah, both 15-year-olds, so yeah, they'll know each other's skills well. But it's Struan Payton who's just emerged, maybe a body length clear of his teammate at halfway, 1:10.78. Again, almost exactly the same split as the first heat. So they finished off on 2:25s. These guys on 2:28 entry times. So again, we're looking for some PBs here, and Struan Payton is certainly taking it out strongly here. He was bronze medalist in North District age groups in this pool earlier this year. So let's see what he can do here. Certainly is looking pretty comfortable for this one. See his turn at the 150, 1:48.34. Now slightly faster than the first heat, 4/10. Thereabouts. Second place is Alexander McNiven, the Warrender swimmer. Down at the bottom of your screen, lane 1 in the red cap. And also pushing on now in lane 4, Finlay Bennett of South Lanarkshire. South Lanarkshire having a really good meet so far. So it's these three, but I don't think anyone's going to catch Struan Payton. He has dominated really from the off, and will take heat number 2, 2:25.73. So that again is a nice PB.
Slightly down on the previous heat, but still a nice improvement there for Struan. Second it was Alexander McNiven, the Warren de Bass swimmer, 2:27.51. And coming in third, so it's third Finlay Bennett, South Lanarkshire, 2:20. Oh, there's joint second, sorry. Alexander and Finlay both coming in on a 2:27.51. Nothing splitting them after 200.
So could that be interesting for a swim-off? We had 2 swim-offs on the first day's competition, none yesterday.
Yeah, we like a swim-off.
I do like a swim-off. It cannot be a good swim-off. And of course, swimmers must like it as well because they always swim faster than they did in the heats. Just that head-to-head competition just gets the juices going, doesn't it? Anyway, we move on to heat number 3. The line up for this one. Finlay Kadici of Renfrew Bass in 0. Fergus Reid of Geary in 1. James Gillies of City of Glasgow in 2. Elliot Stephen of Falthouse in 3. Fraser Cowie of South Ayrshire in 4. Adam Merrick, Cumbernauld in 5. Daniel Hay of West Lothian in 6. Lewis Maxwell Pauls in lane 7 for Warrender. Dexter Souter of Aberdeen Dolphin in 8. And Jude Mowbray of City of Glasgow in lane 9.
So in this, again out there in lanes 8 and 9, something going on in the water out there on the far side of the pool, because Dexter and Jude are the ones that are taking this one out. And you saw 33.08 for Dexter in that first 50, and it is also down here in 1. So some good outside lane swimming in these first few heats. And it's now moved to lane 1, Fergus Reid, 1:10.42.
Seen some good swims from the outside lane so far this morning.
Yep.
And certainly those two, Fergus in 1 and Jude in 9, very close. Also up there in 7, Lewis Maxwell Pauls. So 3 having a good tussle here across the pool.
Maybe so lane 1. Still out there, Fergus. He was 1 North Districts in this pool, the Geary swimmer, so he's got good form recently, 1:47.6. He's still ahead, but only just. It's just half a second from Jude Mowbray out there in 9, so all to play for in his final 50 metres. Who's going to get the push on this one? It's looking like it could be Jude out there in lane 9. He's been pushed hard coming through as well. In 4 is Fraser Cowie from South Ayrshire. It's very close between these two. Maybe now actually Fergus Reid, who is going to take this one, I think. He's on a good swim here. And he comes in a 2:24.84. So that's a good 2.5 improvement for him. It was second out there is Jude Mowbray out there in lane 9. 2:25.57, and Fraser Cowie at South Ayrshire did come through in 3rd.
Must be quite tough for the swimmers when you've got contending against somebody who's about 7 lanes away from you. You probably haven't got a clue what he's doing.
I'm not sure they'll even be aware that far apart. 10-lane pool, it's just a long way away across the distance of the pool, so I'd be very surprised if they've got any sense once you get beyond 2 or 3 distant lanes. But they were certainly racing it out. If they did or didn't know, they gave it a good go.
Yeah, they certainly did. So heat number 4 set to go. Now they go with Aidan Williamson in lane 0 for Highland. 1 is Kyle Harper of South Ayrshire. 2, Rory Duncan, also of South Ayrshire. Freddie Walker up from Cheltenham in lane 3. Gregor Skinner of First in 4. Oscar Churnside of Geary in 5. Logan McDonald of Bells Hill in 6, Jed Armitage, Highland in 7, Luke McCall of Warrender in 8, and Inniscow of Geary in lane 9.
So we've got an interesting mix of some English clubs coming up. There's Cheltenham, Sevenoaks, the usual contingent from the north, but also an interesting mix from further afield as well.
Yeah, they're all Scots, I think, in the main anyway. There's obviously the Morpeth crew, there's a good number of non-Scots there, but generally speaking, all Scots. But, well, this is pretty close, and Freddie Walker, we were just talking about, is certainly up there in the mix. So he is pushing hard, but he's got company. Lane 5, Oscar Churnside in the yellow cap. Lane 8 is Luke McCall in the red. So these 3 at halfway, turning 1:09.12, so that is a little bit faster. Second and a bit faster than anything we've seen.
Good turn there from Freddie and Luke, more known as the Breaststroke Luke, so he's showing a bit of versatility out there in lane 8 on this 200 backstroke, and it is a three-way race really now. They are pretty close in a line, the three of them.
Yeah, good tussle here. So let's see who's going to get the turn at the 150. Oscar Churnside, 145.88. So really pushing it on. That was about a 36.5 split there.
Yeah,
see the intermediate splits on your screen. But we've got a three-way tussle coming down. It is Oscar. And he is about a body length up now. And the other two very, very close as they come down into the final 10. Pushing hard now is Freddie Walker. He's getting close. Don't think he's going to quite get there. It is Oscar Churnside who takes the win, 2:21.29.
So a nice one. The Youth Academy member there. He did that time at the Scottish Summer Meet last summer, his entry of 2:22.48, so he'll be delighted to improve on that by about a second. Freddie Walker second, Luke McCall coming in third place.
Yep, so good tight contest there. And there's your lineup for heat number 5. Mano Drysdale, Warrender in 0. Adam Thompson, South Ayrshire, and Dylan McCombie of South Ayrshire, Aberdeenshire in lane 2. Nearly moved into Ayrshire. Luke Scott at Dumfries in 3. Tom Jeffords of Wren, 96 in 4. Hayden Sterling of St Thomas in 5. Jonah Turnbull of Midlothian in 6. 7 is Robbie Carlisle of South Lanarkshire. Kyle Mossman of City of Glasgow in 8. And Rowan Brown of Elgin in lane 9.
Only a second between all 10 of these on entry time, so on paper this looks a really close one.
So coming up to the turn, a whole line of swimmers, but again it's an outside lane, setting the pace. Rowan Brown this time, 31.85.
So been pretty much every race this morning where the outside lanes have been.
What is going on with the seedings? But good to see. Everybody has a chance in these races. Luke Scott was turning second, so he's up there in lane 3, and I think he's maybe got the lead now. Also in the green cap, lane 6, that's Jonah Turnbull of Midlothian. Midlothian having a good meet. Some stunning swim from Charlotte Thompson
fantastic last night. Absolutely excellent. That 200 breaststroke came from nowhere.
106.98 for Luke. His second place now, Jonah Turnbull. Third, the early leader, Rowan Brown.
So he's got a good lead now. Has Luke. He's really pulled away on this third 50. And he's looking really, really strong. He was a finalist last year in this event. And he's definitely pulling away on this one. 143.15. So he's a couple of seconds up now on the fastest from the previous heat. So he's looking to get under that 220, I would think. I'm not sure he's done that before. So this is a cracking swim from the Dumfries swimmer. Midlothian's Jonah Turnbull is trying to stick with him. But it's going to be Luke Scott. He's been really impressive in this heat. As he comes in, he's going to be nicely under that 220. This is a big improvement for Luke. Really good swimming there, 2:18.32. So that's over 3 seconds improvement on his entry time. So see whether he can push himself. It's tough to get in this final, but that was a cracking swim there from Luke.
Yeah, we've seen some good, strong swims this morning. And the first couple of mornings you felt there weren't too many people beating their entry times, but we're certainly seeing it this morning. Yeah. They're up for this backstroke.
Yeah, maybe taking a few days just to get into the swing of the meet. But
sometimes it does take a little while, doesn't it? You're in a bit of a slightly different environment, and yeah.
That's 5 days, so it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you've got to. Some of these guys will be doing 2 or 3 swims a day, if not more, for 5 days. They've really got to make sure that they can keep going for the whole meet. Their main event may not be at the beginning, so they just got to work their way through it. But in this one, Heat 6, we have Adam Prusic, Aberdeen Dolphins in 0, Callum McKenzie, Perth City in 1, Andrew Smitten, South Aberdeenshire in 2, Matthew McMillan from Incas in 3, in 4, Conan Swinney from Gateshead and Wickham, Adam Hill, Stirling Swimming is in 5, Tyler Spalding from Carnegie in lane 6, Max Turnbull, Midlothian, is in lane 7 and 8. We've got Ruben Pearson, and in 9, David Landman from City of Glasgow, and it is Callum McKenzie in lane 1. He just got the edge on that first 50.
Yeah, so this is a close one. This time it's the turn of the swimmers at the bottom of the pool to set the running. They're almost taking in turns here. Callum McKenzie, Adam Prusic there. Red
Keeping
cap,
on your
white
toes,
cap.
Duncan.
Yeah. Better on the live stream than on the venue commentary where you're leaning over the balcony to see lane 0. So, yeah, my colleagues on the venue commentary will be struggling with this one. 1:08.19, not as fast as Luke Scott, that very fast time in the previous heat, but pushing it out nicely here. And it is Adam Prusic now who is making the running, the Aberdeen Dolphin. Was a finalist in this event last year. Pushing on in lane 6 is the Carnegie swimmer Tyler Spalding, so he is getting into the act now.
It's a good fired 50 for him. He was bronze medalist at East District, Tyler. And becoming more of a 2 or 3 way race. There's less than a second between the first 3, you can see on the screen. Who's going to get the edge on it? Hard to tell from that angle. It's still Adam though, but Tyler is pushing back at him. You can see his really fast stroke rate up there in lane 6. He's coming through strong. Is he going to sneak it through? Oh, it's very close, and I think he has. What a final 50 from Tyler. That was super final 50 there. Look at that, 34.6 on his final 50, out sprinting the rest of the pack. 2:20.79.
Yeah, it was a canny race there, wasn't it, from Tyler? I think his coach will be pretty happy with the way he swam that. Not quite a PB, but that was about race skills, I think, there to take
super.
that one.
Very impressive.
Heat 7 is up next, and there's your lineup. Ishmael Shalabi of East Lothian, Aaron Drake of Warrender, Jacob Light of Morpeth, Edward Bell from Seagulls down on the south coast of England, Kyle Mitchell of Geary, Kanish Chakraborty from Hamilton Aquatics, Logan van der Merlen of Stirling Swimming, Robbie Boyd of Warrender, Liam Gozinski of Montefieth, and Edward Brown from Alnwick. So on this one, they are into the cycle seeded heat, so quite a range of times. 2:07 the fastest, Kyle Mitchell, up to 2:18 for Edward Brown. So you'd expect to see the centre lanes dominating here, but it's not been happening yet this morning.
And there's a sort of outside lane out there in lane 7. He's going for a good start. Robbie Boyd, he is better known as a sprint backstroker, I would say, so not surprising to see him out fast in this 200, see whether he can keep that pace up.
I guess if you are a sprinter, it's quite hard to not be fast down the first leg. I'm sure he'll have been told by his coaches, just control the first half of this race, use that sprint skill at the end, but once you get in the water...
Once a sprinter, always a sprinter.
Yeah, that's it.
And you can see he's just slightly going off the pace, and it is the swimmers in the middle. Kanish Chakraborty coming over here from a big contingent from the Hamilton team in Dubai. And Kanish has had some good swims, medalled already at this meet, and he turned in first place there with Edward Bell. Seagulls not that far behind him. Carl Mitchell, the fastest qualifiers, a wee bit down. But he's probably just pacing it nicely, and it's now in lane 3. Edward Bell, Seagull swimmer, has had a really good third 50 there. He's faster than anyone other than Logan van der Meulen, so we'll just keep an eye out on Logan in lane 6. He had a good third 50 there. And it's Edward Bell. He's a Youth Academy member. He won this event last year, Edward, so he's got a title to defend. And he's doing it pretty well in this heat swim here. Entry time for Edward was 2:11, and he's really come through strongly. It's going to be Canish second, but 2:12.44. That's a good swim for him. Canish Chakraborty did get second, and it was Logan van der Meulen who had a really strong second 100 there in that 200 back, really strong, and he came through to get third. Just wait for it to be confirmed. Super swimming there from defending champion Edward Bell. There's a few gremlins just being addressed there just to get the confirmation. There we have it. Edward Bell was first, Canish Chakrabarty second, and fast finishing Logan van der Meulen got in third. So that was a strong swim there for Edward. He's only just over his entry, just a second and a half, so he'll be looking to improve on that later on. Here we have the next heat. Harry Sharp, Warnder Baths in lane 0. Jack Simpson, South Lanarkshire in 1. Logan Jackson from University of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Jack Docherty Simpson, City of Glasgow's in 3. Callum Peebles from East Lothian in 4. Adam Scott, Ren 96 in 5. Ethan Stewart, South Lanarkshire in 6. Tom Armitage, Highland Swim Team in 7. Finlay Geddes from Lerwick is in 8. And Cal Muirhead, West Lothian swimmer, in lane 9. Oh, we have centre swimmers off in the lead. There we go. That's a novelty this morning.
What's going on?
It is the fastest seed who seems to be in the lead. Maybe not though.
Yep, Callum Peebles just touching it, 30.15. So that's exactly the same split as we saw in the previous heat. Callum, silver medalist in the 100 backstroke. Backstroke probably his best event.
Yeah, saw him do breaststroke yesterday, I think, as well, didn't we? So
beside him in lane 3, Jack Docherty Simpson going for City of Glasgow. So he's keeping Callum company, and also in lane 6, Ethan Stewart. In fact, it's Ethan who just gets the touch at halfway, 104 rather, 0.3.
Joint with Callum, so that's an equal, really nothing between, literally nothing between them there, although all of a sudden Callum and Jack have pulled away from turning exactly the same time as Ethan at that 100 split. Callum has just put the afterburners on and he's off. And that's a super transitioning in that third 50 from Callum Peebles. He was a finalist at the British Summer Champs as well, so he's a really strong pedigree, Callum. One of that quartet of East Lothian swimmers, Stefan and Luke Hornsey, who's now at Edinburgh Uni, but he's looking very strong here, Callum.
Yeah, he's now up by about 3 meters or so. He was silver medalist in this event last year, who you would think will be up against Lucas Brown in the final later on. We'll see him in the next heat, but certainly it's going to be a pretty emphatic win after a tight first half, but the second half is all about Callum. 2:10.26, entered on 2:04, so I think there'll be more to come tonight from the East Lothian man. Jack Docherty Simpson in second place, and Ethan Stewart of South Lanarkshire in third. Nice to see some strong Highland swims this week, and Tom Armitage there, very good fourth place for him. So he'll be hoping to replace in that 17-18 final tonight as well. The lineup there for the final heat of this 200 backstroke. Jake Ferguson of first, Corey Phillip from Dundee City Aquatics, James Kilpatrick. Nice to see him back in the water. He was off sick yesterday. Finlay Bruce, who had a storming freestyle 400 yesterday and a really battle with Conor Aspinall. He goes in 3. Dean Fern of Aberdeen Dolphin in 4. Finlay Davis of Midlothian in 5. Lucas Brown, I was talking about earlier, goes for Stirling University in 6. Cedar Gullen of Warrender in 7, Nathan Wilson of Carnegie in 8, and Calvin McDonald from University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 9. So taking it out, lane 4, Dean Fern, lane 6, Lucas Brown. They're certainly the two you would have expected to see pushing it out, and a 29.3 is faster than anything we've seen. Dean Fern knocking off the gold medals in a fairly regular fashion for Aberdeen Dolphin. It's that junior record on Wednesday night in the 50 fly. Was very impressive last week in London at the British Championships.
He did not win the second in the junior final there, where he broke his own Scottish junior record. Or he actually broke the Scottish junior record. I don't think he had it before, but yeah, no, he's stringing together a very impressive set of swims and across a range of strokes and distances. Really, it's 50 fly right up to 200 back. That's quite a range for somebody to be able to demonstrate that kind of generational talent, really, which he is.
Yeah, back and fly definitely his two strongest events, but he's with no mean feat of freestyle as well. Don't see him doing breaststroke too often.
Never seen him do a breaststroke race, but I'm sure he will have done some. But he's, I guess, when you're that good at 2 or 3 of the strokes, you just. Although interesting, a lot of the, Duncan Scott has gradually, and Tom Dean, they've all expanded out to that 200 IM as being their. That's a good shot of Dean, looking very relaxed and very comfortable there. I suspect he won't be pushing himself too much on this one. He's definitely eased back.
Yeah, so Lucas Brown comfortably in second ahead of Finley Davis. We expect to see both of them in the 17-18 final. Of course, Dean, a 16-year-old, so he will go in the 16 final, 2:08.92. So that is the fastest that we've seen this morning. And Dean, once again, looking very strong, very controlled. Yeah. And he definitely is learning about these 200s, I think. Totally. We've seen this season, I think, more than perhaps last season. Yeah. He's really starting to master the 200s. A couple of seasons ago he was blasting out and hanging on, but that was probably the steadiest 208 that you'll have seen on a 200 backstroke for a while there. He looked very, very steady and controlled on that last 50, so there's going to be more to come from Dean, I'm sure, later on this evening. So that's us done with the 200 backstroke. We move to 400 freestyle now. And in this one, for the females, we've got 6 heats, of course 8 lengths of the pool. And there's your lineup for the first of the 6 heats. Grace Powell goes for Elgin in 0, Olivia Russell of Cumbernauld in 1, Ava Service of Dumfries in 2, then 2 from City of Glasgow, Abby McMillan in 3, Anna Campbell in 4. Katie Gillies goes for Renfrew Baths in 5, Imogen Barrett of Ren 96 in 6, Leonie Bebra of Incas in 7, Katie Cooper of Warrender in 8, and Iris Ware of South Lanarkshire in lane 9. Ren 96 in 6 always reminds me of 444 East 55.
Very good. As we kick off here, nobody really showing much. Maybe lane 2, so Ava Service. She was a reserve for one of the races yesterday, managed to get a good swim in that, so she's made the opportunity yesterday, and she's got another swim today, but it's actually Iris Ware outside in lane 9. Where else? Who took the first 50 there, 32.87.
So it's not just the boys who are going to do it from the outside lanes. Although coming up now in lane 2 is Ava Service that you were talking about earlier, Tony. And she is looking pretty good here. Lane 6 as well is not far away, Imogen Barrett. So there's a good number of contenders. Early doors, of course, coming to the 100. Ava, 1:10.10. So about half a second is her lead. Katie Cooper in a 3rd place, going in lane 8, so keeping the outside lane interest going. Pretty close here, 3 or 4 swimmers, fairly tight as they come down to the 150. These swimmers' entry times just below 5 minutes, 4:57s up to 4:59, so they'll be looking to nudge that on a bit here.
Still Ava. She's just 0.8 ahead. She is still the fastest in the pool at the moment, so she's settled down.
Yeah, all these swimmers in the 15 age group. So these ones, last year, as 14-year-olds, they would have swum this as a heat declared winner event. This year, they've got to do it twice if they make the final. So that will be a learning experience for them as well. Not too often that they'll swim 400s, heats and finals. Sadly, don't do it at district level. So
it's a tough gig, 2 400s in a day.
I noticed, I mean, the likes of Coco Croxford yesterday doing a 200 fly followed by a 400 IM. That was going some.
Yeah, no, that's 2 of the hardest events in the program in the same session. But if anyone can cope with it, I think Coco Croxford can cope with it, and she did admirably. But, Ava's looking strong here. She really has started to pull away from the rest of the field, the Dumfries swimmer, and she's looking strong. Good close up of her there. She turns. She's in 37 middles pretty regularly now, and that's a good second faster per 50 than everyone else, and that's showing in the pool.
Yeah, showing these intermediate splits, the 37s versus the 38s, that just gives you a real sense of what's going on, and just the increase that you don't necessarily see by just watching as how much faster Ava is going than the 3 behind her. She is looking very strong. Let's see if she manages another 37 here as we come up to the 300. 3:41.98, just into the 38s this time. But well, not in fact, Anna Campbell 38.09, 38.3 for Imogen Barrett. So the 3 of them all pretty close in terms of pacing.
Yeah.
But that also means, of course, that they're not making any inroads into Ava's lead. And that's looking pretty secure now with about 70 meters to go.
And so it's Anna and Imogen, Ren 96 swimmer as well. But Ava's looking pretty strong unless something dramatic happens in this final 50. I mean, Anna's now swimming over a second per 50 quicker, but she's got 2 to catch up. She's going to have to really motor on this one, and she's given it a good shot though, Anna.
Yep, in lane 4 in the blue cap of City of Glasgow. As you said, she has an awful lot to make up, and I think maybe that challenge is just running out of steam a bit, because Ava, I think, is finding some extra pace down this final 50, as of course they will have planned to do, just pick it up in these last 50 meters. And so this has been a really solid swim from Ava Service, 4:57.83. She takes the win. So Ava entered 4:57.7, so right on that. Anna Campbell again with a very fast last 50, 36.1 there, takes second in 4:58.79, and Imogen Barrett in third. We'll get confirmation of that. There you go. Those just the 2 under the 5 minutes. Just the 2 under 5 minutes.
Moving on to heat 2, and this one we have Lisa McNair, starting swim in 0, Sadie Faulkner. From St Thomas in 1, Jessica Powell. Elgin in 2, Lexi Lamont. Aberdeen in 3, Lucy Hunter. From South Lanarkshire in 4, Izzy Munnock, one of those Morphus swimmers we were talking about, in 5, Gina Wren, City of Glasgow in 6, Annabelle Scatterty from Aberdeen Dolphins in 7, Josie Grimes, Warren de Baths in 8, and in lane 9, Elena Sanderson from Perth City.
Strong start from Annabella Scatterty, Aberdeen Dolphins swimmer, because Aberdeen Dolphins do quite a lot of their training in this pool, and they get a chance to swim at the long course. Great venue for training for the Aberdeen clubs, and she is a second faster than anybody else on that first 50. Lucy Hunter's having a good meet. She saw her bronze in the 1500 for South Lanarkshire. So she's the 15-year-old, as is Anna and Annabella. Sorry.
Mainly 15-year-olds in here. 17-year-old Lizzie Munnock and Jessica Powell. The rest part of that contingent you talked about, stepping up from 1 to 2 400s, and some of the swimmers you'd think in this heat, looking at the programme, will be peppering around the potential for a final again this evening. So in lane 7, Annabelle Scatterty is one of those.
Yep, so the two of them now very close.
A good 2 or 3 seconds up on the previous heat, so there's a step up in pace on this one. Maybe now we have a new leader, Lucy Hunter, as you say, already medalled. One of that South Lanarkshire do breed long distance swimmers, don't they, in that kind of neck of the woods?
Yeah, Lucy Hunter is really starting to use that endurance skill, and she is moving away now. 4th in the West District Pre-Stags meet, where she did a 4:48 entry time. So swimmer on form, we've already seen that this week. South Lanarkshire, we mentioned before, having an absolutely fantastic meet so far. They are neck and neck with East Lothian for 3rd place in the team championships at the moment. So 2:19.22, couple of seconds the advantage. If you want to know the details of the team point situation, I think that has been put out onto social media by Scottish Swimming. So if you check out on your favourite social media channel, you should be able to find all the details. There you get a nice shot of Lucy. Real aggressive stroke, isn't it? Real attacks the water. 36.6, so you can see that is a fair bit faster than anybody else. Next faster, Lexi Lamont in terms of pacing. Lexi going in lane 3 there in the white cap for Aberdeen, and she's now alongside Izzy Munnock in the red and white, and 2 lanes along from her, the early leader Annabella Scatterty. But here we see Lucy Hunter coming down.
Very tidy stroke there. Good rhythm. And 3:31.92.
10 seconds faster than the previous heat. So real pickup in pace here. See 36 there, so 2 more 36s would be a 4:44 or thereabouts, and I think she might well knock a bit off that. Entry time 4:48. So this is impressive stuff from Lucy. Well, South Lanarkshire are renowned for producing strong distance freestylers, and Lucy looks to be coming up in that tradition. 4:08, another 36, yep.
So yeah, she's swimming herself into a final, I think, here. There's only 5 or 6 15-year-olds left to go through the remaining heats, so that's the fastest 15-year-old so far. I think she's going to set a good standard for them all. They will be taking note of this one. And what of that, 10 metres at least dominating this second heat of the 400 front crawl. What a super swim from Lucy. She's going to smash her entry time. 4:42.58. What a super swim from her.
Brilliant stuff, and then you need to take it up to a 34.4 for that last 50, so finding some real back-end pace as well as that consistency through the meet. Second, Izzy Munnock, 4:50.48 for her. So pretty close to her entry time, and just behind her in 3rd place, Lexi Lamont. Just wait for that result to be confirmed.
So she's definitely got her preparation right for this one, Lucy. Peaking at the right time.
Yeah, Coach Andy Figgins and Derek McGowan will be pretty happy with how she's going. And there's confirmation of the result with Lexi Lamont confirmed in 3rd, the Aberdeen swimmer. 4:51.63 for her.
So moving on now into heat 3. That's Lucy Hall from East Lothian is in 0. Ava Ross, City of Glasgow in 1. Naomi Wilson, Warren de Baths is in 2. Olivia Caldwell from City of Glasgow in 3. Caitlin Frame from first in 4. Ellie Kennedy, City of Glasgow in 5. Perry Scobie, Sterling Swim in 6. Sophia Allison from Weston Barnshire in 7. Kristen Mackay, Finns in 8. And Lucy Atherton from Heart of Midlothian in 9. Perry Scobie had a fantastic swim last night. Does she not come through right at the end to take victory? She's
I think second, certainly in the 200 breast. I think
second behind,
but she was
Charlotte,
way behind.
Yeah, second to Charlotte, wasn't she?
She stormed that last 50 and just managed to get in between Charlotte Thompson and Tegan Black to take the silver. But it was an amazing final 50.
And she's also won medals in 100 free, so she's showing good versatility here, Perry. And she isn't yet up there in the lead. That belongs to Caitlin Frame at the moment, the first swimmer. Very close across the rest of the field. Caitlin's really made a dash for it on this first 100. Very strong start from her in the 17-old age group. And she's already got a body length up on the rest and up on the previous heat as well. So showing her intent here, Caitlin.
Yes, I don't have any historic form for Caitlin Frame on this 400 freestyle, so it's interesting to see how this one goes for her. She certainly attacked it down that first 100, but will the others come back at her? There's the Warren, the swimmer, looking pretty strong in lane 2, Naomi Wilson, so she might fancy her chances to come back here. It does look like the pace is just steadying now from Caitlin. Let's see what the different paces are. 37.1. You can see Naomi Wilson nearly a second faster, and Olivia Caldwell as well. And we talked about Perry Scobie and her back end speed, so we'll keep an eye on her as well in lane 6 there in the white cap. But they're definitely coming back at Caitlin now after Caitlin's fast start.
Early enthusiasm from Caitlin. It's sort of balancing out across the field. Naomi coming through. Strong backstroke as well, Naomi, but she's showing good form in this freestyle.
So there's less than a metre between the two of them at the halfway mark now. Caitlin's still holding on to her lead though. 2:19.87, about 2/10 up. Pace has just dropped slightly behind Lucy Hunter's pace. Of course, that was a terrific swim from Lucy. It does look like maybe Naomi is just going to go past Caitlin now, and in between them, Olivia Caldwell very much in the frame.
Eva Ross not out of it as well. Her teammate and Perry is just loitering over there in lane 6.
Loitering.
Hunting down her pack. Well, she does it like she did in her 200 breaststroke yesterday. That's let's see whether she can do a repeat performance on this 400 free. I've got a feeling that she might, but let's wait and see.
Yeah. Just waiting for her to go back to her coach and said, I thought I'd just loiter in the first half, see what reaction that gets. Now, she's got a fair amount of ground to pick up in that last 100 if she is to get up with the swimmers at the front. And it is Naomi Wilson in the red of Warrender who is going to turn first, but not by much. Caitlin Frame has picked it up here, and she is still very much in the hunt. 3:33.01, 3:33.77.
It's a good swim here. She's paced it well, Naomi. And she does look like she's just pulling away slightly.
So let's see whether any of the others can put a challenge in on Naomi in the final 50. We'll get an idea of their pace here as they turn for the final time. 36.4 for Naomi, 36.6 Olivia, 37.1 Caitlin, 36.4 for Perry. Lucy Hall with the fastest there, 36.0 in lane 0. And you see there at the bottom of your screen, she is moving up. I don't think she's going to be able to catch the leaders, but she's certainly finishing very strongly. But Naomi Wilson is the favourite now, I think, for this one. But Caitlin Frame is hanging in there in lane 4 and not giving Naomi an easy time of it. That's going to be the 1-2 as the Warrender swimmer brings it home. 4:44.30 Interesting race, that one. And that was a nice improvement for Naomi of nearly 2 seconds. Caitlin Frame 4:44.73. I think she'll be pretty happy with that. It's inside her entry time. Pushed it out very hard at the beginning, as we saw, and but then
hung in there.
Yeah, and was strong down that last 50. You can see there 33.8. That was the fastest final 50. And Olivia Caldwell 4:46. Lucy Hall in 4th.
Oh, nice race there.
Confirmation there of the result. 3 heats to go.
And this next one is the last of the non-seeded heats. Just wait for the lineup to come up on the screen. It'll be there any second now. Ella Chalmers, Python in 0. Molly Weir, West Lothian in lane 1. Irene Ferris from Cumbernauld in 2. Gemma Brown, Carnegie in 3. Safrina Machin, City of Glasgow in 4. Her teammate Ella Cunningham in 5. Ella Pullman from Glenrothes in 6. May Rogers, Warren de Baths in 7. Alice Cumming, City of Glasgow in lane 8. And Alex Coy from Warrender out in lane 9. So very close on paper, 143.4 up to 444.95. So only a second and a half between all of these swimmers on entry time. So see whether that is how it plays out in the water. And it's Irene Ferris, Cumbernauld swimmer.
Yeah, nice to have them in the pink caps, makes them very distinctive. They're having a decent meet as well.
They are. And spread out across the pool here. Alex Coy out there, Warrender swimmer, going well in lane 9 as well.
And Ella Chalmers in 0 as well, so keeping that outside lane interest going. All pretty close, in fact, isn't there? What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All pretty close there. Headed by Alex in lane 9, 106.56.
Teammate May Rogers just behind her.
I guess we shouldn't be that surprised the outside lane's going well. There's only about a second and a half in their entry times from fastest to slowest, so they've all got a good shot to win their heats.
And also, especially in this 400, it's going to move all the way through the race, isn't it? As we've seen already, some real shifts in positioning as swimmers settle into their pace, but Alex has maintained it here. May not too far behind. Very close with Safrina Machin, her City of Glasgow swimmer. So it's still very close for second, third, fourth and fifth. Alex maybe making a bit of a break for it.
Yeah, she's certainly pushing it on well here in this second 100. 4:44, as I said, her entry time. So the last heat was a 4:44. At the moment, they're slightly behind the pace from the last heat. Let's see how they are. In fact, they picked it up to 18.65, so now a second faster than the previous heat. So you can see there, 36.2 for Alex, 36.81s for both Safrina and Ella.
Alex was a medalist in 1500 at East Districts this year, so you'd expect she'll be able to hold on to this. She's looking strong. She is pulling away a wee bit, so see if she can keep this up.
Yeah, you suspect that if they are to get back at Alex, it won't be because she'll get slower. They're going to have to pick it up. And at the moment, that's not really happening. Alex about 3-4 meters up, 2:54, and you can see there 36.1 against Ella's 36.8 and Safrina's 37.4. So she's the one with the momentum at the moment.
It's a very strong swim. They've really got to do something to catch up, as you say. Maybe a combination of Alex going off the pace and the others catching up, but at the moment it's not looking likely. We'll see what that's happening as we get to the final turn to get her into the final 100.
3:31.37, so now over a second and a half faster than the previous heat. Again, 36.5, 8 tenths faster down that last 50 for Alex, so looks like she has this one pretty much in the bag. So just around 112.5 pace there. So looking at something in the low 440s. So hopefully she can get on her 444 entry time. I think she will. Lane 6 is still Ella Pullman in second place. And she looks to have a reasonable gap now over Safrina Machin as they turn for the final time.
So Ella's picked up the pace there. That's the fastest 50 in the pool for Ella, but she's possibly left it a bit late to get back at Alex. Alex is still looking strong out there, working hard.
Yeah, a bit of a race on for third. You can see there in lane 0, Ella Chalmers has moved up. Can't see her in this shot, but in lane 0, she is pushing on well. And then you see just down at the bottom of your screen, see her toes in action there. But it's going to be up at the other end of the pool. Alex Coy really testing our cameraman's skills here to get out those wide shots. 4:42.72, so that is a very nice time for Alex. 4:45.50 for Ella Pullman and 4:48.53, just very tight there, just 800ths in it for third and fourth place.
Nice race there. I'll be knocking at the door for a potential second swim, but need to see how the swimmers in this next two heats, these are the circle seeded heats coming up, get on.
Yeah, my counting is right. I think we've got 13 swimmers still to come in the 17-18 age group, so
they've got their target.
Yeah, but that's going to be certainly giving herself a good chance, I would say, for a second swim tonight. 4:42. They will need to be at their game to match that.
And the first lot who will are on the screen there. Jessica Heaps, Faulthouse in 0. Kate Nolan from East Lothian in 1. Rosie Forster, Alex's teammate of Morn Bass in 2. Emmy Aitken, University of Aberdeen Performance in 3. Susan McNair, Stirling Swim in 4. Evie Mackey, South Lanarkshire in 5. Coco Croxford, South Lanarkshire in 6. Mia McLeod from West Lothian in 7. Maria Howe, University of Aberdeen Performance in 8. Ayla Cochrane, City of Glasgow in 9. Goodness, there's a heat full of medal winners from Renice Snags in this one, across a whole range of different events, but I'm pretty sure Kate, Rose, Emmy, Susie, Evie, Coco, they've all been doing well so far, coming together on this 400 freestyle.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one, as you said, Tony. Lots of talent in the pool in this penultimate heat, and you can see they're lined across the pool, maybe just edging it in lane 4 is Susie McNair, the Stirling Swimming member of the Scottish junior team. Had a terrific week last week in London, and she is backing it up very nicely here.
She find 4th in the 400 IM, actual senior final, I think.
Absolutely
unbelievable, really, for the youngster. Absolutely outstanding sort of breakthrough swim, really, for her at that senior level.
So you can see there 105.6, 105.8, and you've got a good group of swimmers at the front of this one. Pushing on nicely in lane 2 is Rosie Forster. She is right up there, I think maybe in second place, although Evie Mackey is there as well, and she will get stronger and stronger as this race progresses. The South Lanarkshire swimmer based in Lanark. So look at them all turning together there. Lovely shot as they all turn. Just 100th between Rosie and Evie. In second and third, Mia McLeod in the mix. In lane 7, Coco Croxford just behind her. So who's your money on, Tony?
One of those 5.
Oh, you're getting very daring in your old age.
Not an outside lane. There we go. That's my prediction for this one.
Right, we'll put our money on Jessica Heath, shall we, there at the bottom of your pool to pull out a surprise.
I mean, she is an international triathlete, represented Scotland at Commonwealth Youth Games last year. So if anyone in the outside lane is going to do it, you could think maybe Jessica, but so that wasn't such a bad call, Duncan.
She's in 7th at the moment, though, so she's got some work to do. Yeah, and it's lane 6 now, Coco Croxford. Well, we know she's got the endurance. We were talking about her double act yesterday in the 200 fly and the 400 IM. So absolutely no doubts that she will last the course here.
400
And of
free's
course,
a walk in the park for her compared to that, really, isn't it? So
they'll all be thinking, I think that they're pretty much nailed on for a final spot, so they may not want to push it too much. Coco going in the 16 age group, Evie in the 15s, Susie and Rosie both in the 17, 18s. But it is very much now looking like the one who's made the move is Coco Croxford in lane 6. He was a silver medalist last year, another member of the Scottish junior team.
she's really gone for this, hasn't she? That second 100's just, oof, off you go, blink, and she's gone.
3:24.69.
Sorry.
So yeah, so they were just 2 seconds up on the previous heat at the 200, but now they are 7 seconds up, or at least Coco is. So it just shows how she pushed that third 100 there.
So a good race for second, isn't it? But Coco's just put the burners on in that third 100, and swimming in the 16-year-old, as you said, Duncan. So she's going for a different Evie Mackey in the 15, as is Emmy Aitken. So a good mix of swimmers across the age groups here.
Yeah, so this is interesting from Coco. Obviously has a race plan sorted with her team at South Lanarkshire, and it certainly wasn't take it easy because you're easily going to qualify for the final. I mean, this is really pushing it out. She, entry time 4:32.41, and she's going to be right around that mark, maybe just slightly off it, but not much at all. So that was a brilliant swim, 4:32.60. And Coco, I think, can be very happy with that as a heat swim. Be interesting to see that she can take that on in tonight's final. My guess is that's going to give her the centre lane in the 16-year-old final, or maybe not, because Phoebe Arbuckle's still to come. So yeah, that will be very interesting tonight, because that certainly sends a bit of a message to Phoebe.
Yep, I'm here, and Coco's still got her 200 fly to go this morning. So, so a nice warm up for that. She shouldn't have to do much warming up after that for her 200 fly, which she probably her favourite event. And that's the final heat. In the 0, we've got Phoebe Arbuckle, as you mentioned, but we'll come on to in lane 4. Louise Connell from City of Glasgow in 0. Kiana Kurtzer, Warren Baths in 1. Tegan Black from East Lothian in 2. Miriam Mashenko, University of Aberdeen Performance in 3. Phoebe Arbuckle, Warren Baths in 4. Georgia Dickey from Dumfries in 5. Catherine Renfrew, Perth City in 6. Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow in 7. Alice Perry from Warrender in 8. And Emma Creaney, Cumbernauld in lane 9. And it is Phoebe. It's gone off to a quick start. She's been a busy week as well. Already had 1500, 400 IM, a couple of backstroke events. It's now on to this 400 freestyle. She's a junior national member as well. Won this event last year. Second at the British Summer Champs, so really strong 400. Probably gets better as it goes longer, does Phoebe, but no slouch at this 400 either.
Yeah, she was junior finalist last week in London, and tough for these swimmers, I think, coming from London. Obviously a very high octane meet for the youngsters. It'll be very exciting to be up there with the best of Britain, and now to go to the opposite end of the country and swim it and do it all again.
Yeah, I suppose they were little fish in a big sea last week, and they're now big fish in a littler sea in some ways this week. So I guess going that way, you're coming into, you know, they had a lot of them had some amazing swims, making finals, which was a real achievement in its own right. And to come here and probably feel that you're going to be nearer the top of the rankings across the board, is maybe gives them that extra little lift that you need for that second week of competition. But regardless, doing 2 5-6 day competitions within 2 weeks of each other is really tricky. But most of them, we've seen Scott Fleming push on yesterday in his events. We've seen Susie do it. A lot of them have responded to that challenge.
Yeah, so it is Phoebe Arbuckle with a comfortable lead now. Tegan Black, who had a good day yesterday, winning the 400 IM and bronze in the breaststroke. She's in second place, another versatile swimmer, swims lots of events. But it is Phoebe 2:11.41, and that is quite a bit faster than we saw in the previous heat from Coco, because Coco really turned it on in the third 100. But this is just real good, strong, consistent stuff from Phoebe.
Like you were saying with Coco, you know, there's no need for Phoebe to go hard on this heat. She's gonna make the final, but I think that increasingly a lot of these swimmers are doing fast heat swims, because when they do things like British last week, they have to be able to swim in the morning to make a final. So actually just going hard in the morning is good practice when you step up into things like British meets or even Europeans and things like that. So Phoebe's definitely looking like she's taken that approach.
And you often hear from swimmers and coaches that if they do ease off, the stroke just goes a little bit, and they just can't maintain that rhythm. So it is actually a lot better for them to push it pretty hard. They've got good recovery time until this evening's finals, so there's no reason why you can't do it hard twice in the day.
Easy for you to say, Duncan.
Well, we're going hard at it on here, the live stream twice a day, so yeah, we're doing it too, honest.
Just slightly different. So,
it is slightly different, you're right.
But I'd say Tegan, they're in lane 2. She, Edinburgh International, we were doing this at, where she just seemed to be in every single race, Tegan, as I recall. She just does seem to swim a large programme and very well. Great to see her getting that gold medal last night for Tegan. And she's pushing Phoebe, but Phoebe's looking very strong here, showing that long distance pacing. She's hit 34s pretty much every 50 for the last 6 or 7 of them. She's shown the rest of the field a clean pair of heels.
Yeah, it's a good tussle going on for second there. You can see the 3 in a line, Tegan in lane 2, and then you've got Georgia Dickey in lane 5. She's also great distance freestyler, and beside her, Catherine Renfrew is very strong in the middle distances. So Phoebe, the clear winner there, 4:28.61, so is the fastest we're seeing. Who's going to get second? It's good test of the finishing skills there, and Tegan just held on to it by 500ths from Georgia Dickey. Feel good about that, I would think. 4:36, just 4 seconds away from her inch time. Georgia Dickey just 500ths behind her in third, and Catherine Renfrew right there in the mix as well. I'm sure we'll see all 4 of them again. So just going back to that 4:40, what was it? 4:42 from Lucy Hunter. I think that will get her into the final.
Alex. Yeah.
I'm thinking about Lucy Hunter a few heats ago. Yeah, Alex Coy as well. We'll just check on those. That Lucy Hunter, I think, is going to be second fastest qualifier in the 15 age group. And just looking at Alex Coy, I think she does get in 9th place, it looks like.
Good early heat swimming for them. Moving on, change of pace now. Moving on to 2 lots of 50 freestyle. Got the male and open first. We've got 9 heats, and then 9 heats of the female in this one. Harris Wooden 0, Thomas Robertson, Tyler Coots, Ethan Abernathy, Miller Cunningham, Finlay Hiddleston, Struan Payton, Ryan McClacken, and Dexter Suter.
So the centre lane side by side here, Miller Cunningham and Finlay Hiddleston. And I think they just got the edge, although lane 9 is going well. That is Lewis Muir, who gets the touch. Lane 5, Finlay Hiddleston. I think I saw 26.97 come up there, and
very
yes,
nice.
That's confirmed. 27.04 for Miller, and Harris Woodward taking third, the Portobello swimmer.
Should be lots of close races here, very little between many of these swimmers on entry time. There we go, heat 2, Carl Saunderson, Aaron Russell, Connor Aspinall, Alfie Price, Hamish Maxwell, Ethan Collins, Fraser Mandeville, Lewis Maxwell Pauls, Tyler Spalding and Rory Keegan Ward.
So that fantastic battle yesterday with Connor Aspinall up against Finlay Bruce, but also keep an eye on Alfie Price. He was amazing in the butterfly on Wednesday night, the Orcadian in lane 3, and it does look like he is pushing it on strongly here. Lane 5 also going well. Ethan Collins, he's been a gold medalist as well. Between them is Hamish Maxwell in lane 4, but it's going to be lane 3.
Wow.
That's a super swim from Alfie Price, 25.31. Second and a half inside his entry time.
In a 50, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's a North District Sprint champion at the beginning of the season. I don't think he swam age groups because it's quite difficult for the Islanders to get down for these district events, but well, he absolutely put in a blasting race there.
I'm not good at predictions, as we've already heard, but I would suggest that's going to get him in his final. If not a high ranking place in the 15-year-old final, we'll wait to see, but that was a super swim. Max Turnbull, Matthew Piatek, Freddie Walker, Henry Shuliev Barnes, Jamie Pennell, Callum McKenzie, Atanas Irinkoff, Dean Bargatti, Conan Swinney and Kai Fern in this one. See if they can get anywhere close to that 25.31 for Alfie. Maybe lane 7, sorry. So Dean Bargatti. Also 9, Kai Fern. This is pretty close across a number of swimmers.
Yep, lane 3 up there maybe, as well, and lane 2. Ooh. And it is lane 3, Henry Shuliev Barnes, 26.05. So 7/10 away from that Alfie Price time, but a good swim. That was half a second inside his entry time. Jamie Pennell just behind him, 26.09. Dean Bargatti taking third. Absolutely nothing in it for most of the time in these ones, unless you're an Alfie Price, of course, in which case you blast it.
So there you have the lineup here. Jimmy Lynn, Tom Jeffords, Lachlan Bremner, Dylan Mitchell, Ruben Pearson, Aidan Bruce, Aaron Drake, Jed Armitage, Adam Prushik, Rory McCallum. Got some good performance already. Aaron Drake in 6 was bronze in the 400 free last night. Dylan Mitchell was just touched in that 50 breaststroke last night, but it's Rory McCallum, lane 9. Unless that's the angle, but he's looking very, very strong out there.
Yep, Dylan in the mix as well, and lane 1, Tom Jeffords, who's had a good meet, who's going to get the touch.
Could be lane 9, I think.
Ooh, it's
no,
close.
It's not.
Dylan, oof. Lane 3 by 300. 26.04. All these times now coming in only low 26s. So Dylan was entered 26.3, takes that down to 26.0.
Rory got second. Now moving on to heat 5 already. Taylor Hutton, Ewan Watson, Alex Taylor, Turn Liveridge, Rhys Edwards, Ismail Shalabi, Declan Kay, Alex Tinch, Daniel Boyne, and Lewis Lothian. 25.8 through to 26.2 on this one, so we should start seeing 25 more regularly, but all down to how you feel on the day.
So let's see who's looking up for this. Good start in lane 8, Daniel Boyne, the West Lothian swimmer, but well, they're pretty much in a line coming down now. Lane 4, Rhys Edwards is perhaps just edging it now as they come down then, 15 meters to go. Who's going to get the touch here? It's really tight, but I think maybe Rhys Edwards in lane 4 is going to edge it. Yes, he does. 25.58. Your prediction came through. We've got a good number of 25s there. Headed by Rhys. We should see a good number of other ones there. You go. 5 of the swimmers under the 26. Torrin second. Alex Taylor third. Just ahead of his teammate Ismail Shalabi.
I think that prediction was as risky as my one of the top 5 are going to win, Duncan. But anyway, Rory still be in this one. Ross Anderton, Adam Curry, Edward Brown, Callum MacArthur, Jack Mitchell, Marcus Blake, Liam Grzinski, Robbie Boyd and Max Pelosi.
The fastest times here, 25.6 up to 25.8. So still that time of 25.31 from Alfie Price, the fastest we've seen so far. Let's see if anybody can match that here. I think they might be close to it. Great start in lane 8.
Something out there in lane 8 on these. That was a super start from Daniel last time, and Robbie on this one. Pulling back to him though. It's going to be another cracking finish. Still lane 8. Line coming through, Max Pelosi. Also lane 2. And it's Edward Brown in 3. Oh, it's a super race there. 25.5, 25.51, 25.56. Goodness, look at that. Hundredths of a second between all of those top 4 or 5 swimmers. Still not beaten Alfie though.
So let's see if these guys can. James Kilpatrick, Lachlan Small, Cedar Gullen, Zach Slater, Magnus Morris, Lucas Brown, who's been on great form this week, Ben Kelly, Ben McLaughlin, more of a distant man, Connor Christophorus and Cameron Gill. So let's see how they go.
20. This is first of the circle seeded heat, so we've got 23 point for Magnus. God, I think Alfie's time is under threat here. And lane 7. So Ben has decided it is too short for him.
So he has. Lucas Brown is certainly up there in lane 5. Magnus Morris of Red beside him. It's these two. I think maybe Lucas, the Stirling University swimmer, is going to take it. He does. And we are into the 23s, certainly for Lucas anyway. 23.88.
So nice improvement on his entry. Magnus Morris got second, Zach Slater just edging out Ben Kelly. So into second of these, Corey Phillip, Manu Drysdale, Edward Bell, seen him had a good swim already. Logan van der Meulen swimming well. Harry Sharp, bit of a sprint specialist. Kieran Lennox as well. Callum Peebles, Callum Sinclair, Connor Mitchell, sprint breaststroke winner last night, and Samuel Whitehorn. So it's hotting up now. God, I think Harry in 4, 23.78 entry time. Kieran Lennox as well though, very, very fast. And it's Kieran Lennox always gets a good start. And that's been shown again in this one. He's flying on his outside. Also Callum Peebles, East Lothian swimmer. And Harry Sharp in 4 coming through. Great final 25 from him. Oof, 23.93 for the 16-year-olds. Second it was Callum Peebles edging ahead of Logan van der Meulen. So that's a good swim from Harry. Just outside his entry, but
interesting there, Kieran Lennox with such a good start there, but just 4th in the end.
Yep.
They all came at him halfway down the pool.
Halfway, it looked like he was streaks ahead. Just shows you. Alex Black in this one, Benji Jefferies, Archie Smith, Finlay Sang, Dean Fern, Stefan Kravich, Jensen Norris, Cameron Hastings, Finlay Nelson, and Callum Stewart. Dean back in the pool.
Can you guess who the Scottish junior record holder is in this event?
Do you know, this is one thing I might get right. Might be Dean, I think.
Duncan Scott.
Set me up for that one, Duncan.
Yeah, see whether Dean can snatch it off him though. He's up there in lane 4 and he's certainly got the advantage. Stefan Kravis beside him, and on the other side Finlay Sang, but this is again Dean Fernshow, not by that much, but he takes it 23.86. Very close to his entry time, and that by 200ths is the fastest heat time. He'll go in the 16-year-old.
So that's a good race to look forward to this evening. Harry Sharp and Dean Fern.
Yeah, will be very good indeed, because Harry was a 23.93 and Dean a 23.86, 700ths between them.
That's one to come back for later on.
Yeah,
5:15.
Don't miss it. Do not miss it, whatever you do.
5:15 to start this evening, is it?
Something like that.
So now moving on to the next event. This is the female 15 to 1850 breaststroke. Another 9 heats here. And in this first one, we have Chloe Kirk from Mulgine Bootsdown, Emily McDougall in 1, Ava Laidlaw in 2, Ava Gallagher in 3, Katie Wells in 4, Alice Perry in 5, Molly Weir in 6, Emily Dawson in 7, Emma Binney in 8, and Victoria Tunia in 9. Only 0.3 between the entry times of these 10 swimmers. It should be close. Combination of 15 and 16-year-olds. It's maybe lane 4, 4, 5 and 7. Katie Wells, Alice Perry and Emma Dawson. Maybe Emma Dawson in 7 just sneaking ahead. Also going out in Victoria Tunia in 9. pretty strung out across the pool. Also lane 2, Ava Laidlaw. Emily.
Wow.
McDougall it was. Lane 1, sorry. And strong swim from the Highlands team, 29.06, so that's over half a second improvement. Alice Perry came through in second, and Katie Wells just.
Yeah, all very close there. There's the lineup for heat number 2. Amber Littlejohn, Sydney Boyd, Lacey Padfield, Ava Ross, Abby McInerney, who's been in the medals, Emma Miller, Anna Kachenko, Leonie Bebra, Isabella Cohn, and Sophie Allison. This one, 26s to 27s, the entry times. Sorry. What can they do here? That's absolutely wrong, my estimate. The times at 29s. And pushing on very strongly, Abby McInerney in lane 4. So she has got the advantage here. Did her time at the West District Championships, and she is going to blast this one. I think this is going to be a good PB for her. Well clear of the others, 28.07. So great stuff from the Inverclyde swimmer, a 2 1/4. That was almost Alfie Price standard.
That was almost Alfie Price standard. What a super swim there.
Yeah, great stuff from the Inverclyde swimmer. Lacey Padfield taking 2nd. Up from Redditch, a Scot.
So in this third heat, Jessica Hill, Sophia Fallon, Annabelle Scatterty, Marion McPhee, Isla Dobson, Ella Cunningham, Sienna Melville, Emily Jackson, Iona Hickson, and Isla Crawford. 29.2 to 29.3, so less than a fingernail between these 10 on entry. Don't often end up being that close in the pool, but so far that is pretty tight. Oh, that's maybe lane 7. So Emily Jackson. Yeah. Oh, very, very tight here. Almost too close to call. Maybe lane 4. Fastest seed's going to get this one. Isla Dobson, good swimming there. 29.03. So that is an improvement on her entry. Second, Emily Jackson, just 100th ahead of Sophia Fallon. So good swim there from Isla.
And Sienna and Iona very close as well there, so really, really tight behind the leader. But a good swim from Isla to take it. There's the lineup for heat 4. Madison Stewart, Erin Ferris, Caitlin Reid, Charlotte Thompson, Ailsa Clubb, Kira Pemble, Jessica Beaton, Gina Wren, Ellen Denny, and Anna Campbell. So this one, as they come out the turn, good strong start in lane 4 from Ailsa Clubb. But, well, again, they're all lined up down the pool. Pushing on well is Kira Pemble, the border swimmer from the Eyemouth area in lane 5. Is she going to edge it? It's really close, very close indeed, but it does look like it's lane 5. Kira Pemble, who's going to touch in first, 28.56 for her. So, good one from her. Her entry time was 28.87, so getting inside that by 3/10 or so.
Swim line up for heat 5, Isabella Abernethy. In 0, Anna Dunlop, Caitlin Frame, Perry Scobie, Ella Garrow, Amelia Leslie, Millie Colvin, Riley McIntosh, Emily Dickens, and Zara Smith. So fastest in is Ella Garrow Elgin. Perry Scobie had a good 100 free, good start from her. So expect her to come through. So going another one of these that's pretty much blanket across 9 of the 10 swimmers.
I'm glad you're doing this one, Tony.
I'm going to ask you what you think. Well, who's going to take it though, Duncan?
I haven't got a clue.
This is really, really close. Maybe lane 3, I think. Perry Scobie. And she does, 28.42.
Yeah, never bet against Perry Scobie.
No, not this weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, 1/4 of a second inside her entry time. In the end, takes it by 1800ths. Ella Garrow 2nd, Anna Dunlop 3rd. So Perry once again very strong. Heat 6 then. May Rogers, Millie MacArthur, Bronwyn Payne, Kirsty Breakins, Sophie Steele, Rose McDermott, Rosie Heaps, Alice Mackey, Safrina Machin, and Anna Lee. have breaking news as we see this one go, that my wish has been fulfilled of a swim off. It's going to be after the 1500 and the men's 53. We'll give you more details about that later, but in this one, good start in lane 2 from Bronwyn Payne. So we saw a good border swim just now from Kira Pembroke. Can Bronwyn do the same? She's got some company though in lane 4. Sophie Steele, Rose McDermott as well. Who gets the touch? Oh, it's Sophie by a 10th. 28-13. So nice stuff. Very nice finish from the South Ayrshire swimmer there, just to nail it at the end. Bronwyn Payne, 28-2-3. So good stuff from her as well. Both of them inside their entry times.
Still Abigail McNerney, who's the fastest, I think. Beth Craik in this one. Phoebe Arbuckle, Katie Rose, Melissa Turnbull, Natalie Marshall, Anna Lawson, Zara Kravich, Paula McInnes, Heidi Wren and Jessica Kirkwood. So who's going to now into the circle seeded heat, so we should start seeing more of an arrow form, and it's looking like maybe lane 4, Natalie Marshall is going well. We've also got, this is pretty blanket, lane 3, Melissa Turnbull. Oh, it's very, very tight on this one. It is Natalie Marshall, 27. Oh wait, 27.17, and Anna Lawson takes third, 27.78.
DQ there, Zara Kravis, so she'll not be adding to her medals in the 50 freestyle, unfortunately. I guess, imagine that must have been at the start.
It did look like there was a fast start, saw from the corner of the eye, but it's hard to tell who.
Heat 8 then, the lineup: Katie Lowe, Susie McNair, Grace Noonan, Ashley Drake, Ailey Robertson, Mary Vaschenko, Melissa Main-Waring, Ella Pullman, Isla Gilmurray and Lexi Lamont. A lot of these swimmers on their second swim of the morning. And all off to good starts there, it looks like. 0.5 to 0.7 reaction times. And a nice start in lane 3, Ashley Drake. Beside her in lane 2 is Grace Noonan. These two, I think, just have the edge over the others, and they are very close here. I think, well, I was going to say Ashley, but I'm not sure at all. I think it might be Grace. Yes, it is. 27-24, not quite as fast as the last heat, but a good strong swim there. Ashley just 100th behind her, and Mary Maschenko in third, 27.53.
So final heat, Rosie Forster, as you'll see in a minute, Rosie Forster, Natalie Moody, Georgina Hawkes, Layla Weatherspoon, Ariana Stokes, Catherine Renfrew, Eve Wood, Kiana Kurtzer, Mia McLeod and Molly Irvin Watson. Ariana Stokes is the fastest in here. Catherine Renfrew's having a super meet, already swum at 400 free this morning. Lane 4 is Ariana, looking strong also in 6, Eve Wood from Orkney. It's those two, 16-year-old Eve, Ariana's 18. It's very close between the two, and between them is Catherine Renfrew coming back strong, but it's going to be Ariana, 26. Second, Catherine Renfrew coming through strong again. 27.09, 27.2 for Eve Wood.
So just the one swim breaking under the 27 there, Ariana Stokes. There's one of the Scots based in Morpeth, Northumberland and Durham champions, so good stuff from her. Give you a little bit more information about this swim off that's coming up. It's going to be in the male and open 50 freestyle, and it will be in the 15-year-old age group. So that will take place, as I said, after the 1500s in a little while. And just looking to see what it is relates to, and I think it is joint 12th place, so joint second reserve. So chances are neither of them will get a second swim tonight, but they always like to take that swim off. We talked about that earlier, get that fast time. So we move on to 100 breaststroke, male and open now. They line up for the first of the 9 heats. Carrick Thompson of Inverclyde, Craig Burton of Orkney, Harris Woodward of Portobello, Cameron Mather of Inverclyde, Jasper Harrison of Best, Riley Griffin of Cumbernauld, Hamish Maxwell of South Ayrshire, Magnus Kirkpatrick of Orkney, Matthew Leesgang of Mingus Hill, and Liam Warner from East Lothian. And taking it out in lanes 2 and lane 6 are Harris Woodward of Portobello and Hamish Maxwell of South Ayrshire. Oh, in fact, no, it's lane 5, Riley Griffin, my apologies. The Cumbernauld swimmer should have known better with the pink cap there. 35.73, he turns at the 50. But down at the bottom of your screen there in the white cap is the Inverclyde swimmer, Carrick Thompson. Inverclyde have a bit of a reputation for producing great breaststrokers.
The Garrity brothers, years gone by, and it is Carrick. He's going to take this one, I think, isn't he?
Yep, a great swim from the outside lane. Nice to get back to that outside lane. Strong swims that we have been seeing earlier on, and that was certainly one of them. That was a 3-second improvement on his entry time for Carrick.
Very nice.
And well done to him. Harris Woodward second, Jasper Harrison in third.
So moving on to heat 2, we've got Cameron Medema, Warner Baths in 0, Archie French from Lincoln Vulcans in 1, Cammy McMillan, Renfrew in 2, Joe Crawford, Scotia in 3, Lewis Lothian from East Lothian in 4, Callum Stewart from Highland Swim Team in 5, Conan Swinney, Gateshead and Wickham in 6, Lyndon Farty with Montrose in 7, Craig Hartley from City of Glasgow in 8, and George Zivensky, Stranraer in lane 9. So,
Lewis Lothian starting well in lane 4. He's having a pretty solid meet. And then in lane 8 is Craig Hartley, our City of Glasgow. So I think they're going to be 1 and 2 at halfway mark. Is it going to be Lewis turning first? Yes, it is. Only about 100th though, 34.85. That's about 9/10 faster than the first heat. Lewis 4th in East District age groups in March at the Commonwealth Pool. And he is looking good coming down the second length. He's just opened up a bit of a gap now over Craig in lane 8. And then behind them, it's the Stranraer swimmer, George Zwiginski, and also lane 3, Joe Crawford. Really close between them all, but then you see the black cap of Lewis Lothian. Nice breaststroke technique from him, and he is holding off the swimmers on the far side and will take the win in 1:14.97. Another nice PB, nearly 2.5 seconds. So that gives him a shot, I would think, of a place in the 15-year-old final.
Gotta think so.
Just 100th between Craig and George there. 1:16.12, 1:16.13 in second and third.
Moving on to the third heat, Finley Byrne in 0 from first, Henry Shuliev Barnes, Aberdeen Dolphin in 1, Ewan Mitchell, Harder Midlothian in 2, Rory Keegan Ward from City of Glasgow in 3, Nicodem Tronyar, Harder Midlothian in 4, Logan Warburton from Blackpool Aquatics in 5, Clark Malkin Gill, Inverclyde in 6, Dean Bargatti from South Lanarkshire in 7, Fergus Reid from Gary in 8, and Carl Mossman, City of Glasgow in 9. And it's lane 1 this time. 0, sorry. Finley Byrne, the first swimmer.
And he is the first swimmer as he comes down towards halfway. Looking strong down this first half. 34.40, that's half a second faster than the previous heat. So going well here, 1:16.8 his entry time, and he leads by over half a second at the halfway mark. Lane 5 is Logan Warburton, another who's come up from south of the border from Blackpool, another Scot. He is starting to challenge in the second half here. Is he going to get close? Well, I think he is, and I think he might go past Finley here. Let's see as we come in. It's pretty tight, all on the touch. In fact, oh, nice finish from Finley there. I thought he was going to be overtaken there, but not a bit of it. He really upped his game in those last few meters and brought it home in 1:14.87. So a 2-second improvement for the first man, Lewis Warburton in second.
Well, he had a slight improvement in his entry. As we now move into heat number 4. So Aidan Williamson, Highland Swim Team in 0. Rory McCallum, Mulcahy Brisbane in 1. Miller Cunningham from Glenrothes in 2. Aidan McCavish, first in 3. Keir Stormont, Heart of Midlothian in 4. Samuel Cool from Stepbrook in 5. Luke McCall, Warren de Baths in 6. Carl Connolly, City of Glasgow in 7. James Aberdeen from South Aberdeenshire in 8 and in 9. Atanas Erinkov from Broch. And this one's much closer. Not a lot between a number of them here. Maybe lane 3, Aidan McCavish, another first swimmer. We're going to have 2 heats in a row where they take the win, but it's Sam Cool. Lane 5. Just that's the edge, 33.79.
Yep, swims for Stepbrook in St Andrews, was bronze medalist in Easter Street age groups, but it looks like he's coming under pressure now from Aidan McCavish, and in between them, Keir Stormont is in the hunt as well, up in lane 8. We also have James Aberdeen, confusingly swims for South Aberdeenshire. But it is looking very strong now. Aidan McCavish in lane 3. He's up by half a metre. Keir Stormont finishing very strongly as well. They're going to be the 1-2. 1:12.33, so nice strong swim there from Aidan. So his entry time 1:13.10, so he knocks 8/10 off that. Keir Stormont with a good swim, and James Aberdeen in third.
Nice swimming there. Definitely.
So there's a line-up for heat number 5. Liam Kolzinski, Fraser van der Merlen, Ben Montgomery, Tyler Stewart, Cameron Hastings, Dylan McCombie, Maslin Wong, Robbie Carlisle, Lachlan Bremner and Kai Connolly. Times here 1:12s, all very close actually, 1:12.1 up to 1:12.6. The 10 swimmers here. It does make the point just how evenly matched all these heats are. Good start in lane 2, that's Ben Montgomery of Stirling, and in the centre lanes Cameron Hastings, who's been strong this week, and Dylan McCombie as well, who's going to get the touch at halfway. It's very tight. Lane 0 again is up there, Liam Kolzinski, but it's Dylan McCombie just 33.28, half a second faster than the previous heat. Liam second, Cameron third, but I think we've got a contest on our hands here down the second length.
Could be any one of the 5 of those swimmers, really, couldn't it? Maybe lane 5. Dylan Comby is still also coming through strong. Out in lane 9 is Kai Connolly from City of Glasgow, South Lanarkshire, sorry. Oh, who's going to take this? I think it's going to be lane 0 or 3. It is Liam, 1:12.29.
400ths faster than the previous heat. So nice swim from Liam there, from the outside lane, just nudges inside his entry time.
Another close race though.
A little bit of delay in confirming that result, but there you have it now.
So Liam followed by Tyler and takes that one. We're now moving on to heat 6. Torrin Liver's Edge, South Aberdeenshire in 0. Marcus Blake from City of Glasgow in 1. Marcus Buller, Shetland in 2. Craig Shaw from South Lanarkshire in 3. Jack Wallace, Orkney in 4. Aaron Chapman, Glenrothes is in 5. Taylor Sinclair from Elgin in 6. Adam Hill, Stirling Swim in 7. Lewis Gibson, South Ayrshire in 8. And Finlay Bennett, South Lanarkshire in lane 9. And 4 or 5 swimmers here featuring at the moment. Lewis Gibson out there in 8. Adam Hill, Stirling Swimming inside him in 7. Also going well, South Lanarkshire's Craig Shaw, but really 4 or 5 swimmers almost together. Not to forget lane 0, Tony Liver's Edge. But it's Jack Wallace, who is the fastest in from Orkney. 1:11 is his entry. 32.94 on that first 50. And that's the fastest we've seen so far, but really nothing. Maybe lane 8 now coming through. South Ayrshire's Lewis Gibson, and going also in lane Craig Shaw, South Lanarkshire in 3. That's very, very tight across all of these swimmers. Who's going to get the touch? Oof, maybe lane 8, but maybe, oh goodness, Craig Shaw gets it. Lane 3, 1:11.44. That was another really tight race.
Yeah, cracking finish from Karen Chapman as well. He was coming up very fast in lane 5, but just couldn't quite get there in the end, but took second just ahead of Lewis Gibson. On to heat number 7. This is the first of the circle-seeded heats. Fraser Tetlow, Luke Garrity. We were talking about the Garritys earlier. Toby Bullock, Luke Jansen, Jack Mitchell, Finley Davies, Fraser Dow, Finley Sang, Lewis Austin, and Callum MacArthur. So off they go. So we've got more of a range of times here, 1:06 up to 1:11. Jack Mitchell was very strong breaststroker, the University of Aberdeen swimmer.
And it is Jack who's he's a circle seated, so you'd expect the centre lanes to be moving ahead. Luke Garrity going well. Also going well is Luke Jansen, the Warrender swimmer, but Jack Mitchell has got the lead on this one at the moment. He was just missed out on a medal last year. Started at Scottish Schools very recently, Jack. That's a strong first 50, 31.5. That's nearly a second and a half quicker than anything we've seen, and he's going well, Jack.
Yeah, he's completely blasting this one out, isn't he? Nobody close to him. Second place is Luke Jansen in lane 3, and then it's close between Finley Davis and Finley Sang for third place, but there's only one winner here. So after all those tight contests, we've got a blowout here, 1:07.19. Jack within a second of his entry time, so we'll be seeing him in the 17-18 final tonight. Second, Luke Jansen, just 400ths ahead of Finley Sang and Finley Davis. Just behind them, along with Fraser Tetlow. They'll all have to wait and see how the next 2 heats work out. There's your lineup for Heat 8. Ewan Gray, Lachlan Small, Max Pelosi, Gregor Ross, Stefan Kravis, Johnny Martin, Ewan Weir, Aidan Bruce, Calvin MacDonald and James Boddy. Johnny Martin was in a terrific contest on the 50 breaststroke against his Perth teammate Ewan Weir, and again Ewan Weir is beside him there in lane 6, but lane 4 Stefan Kravis, who was silver medalist in the 50 as well last night, behind Connor Mitchell, who goes in the next heat. So it's Stefan in lane 4, and next to him Johnny Martin in lane 5, and also up there in lane 3 is Gregor Ross, the 16-year-old. So these 3 all pretty close. Johnny gets the touch, 32.16, so it's not as fast as Jack Mitchell in the previous heat, but this one is certainly going to be a much closer affair, a 3-way tussle at the front, with Stefan Kravis maybe just edging into the lead. He's in the 17-18 age group, the 2 either side of him, both 16s, but Johnny Martin is responding to the challenge that Stefan set him there, and the 2 of them now side by side. Just behind them is Gregor Ross, but it's going to be a tight one. I think Stefan is probably just going to do enough to take the win. Doesn't want these young whippersnappers to beat him. 1:09.10. So not as fast by a margin as Jack Mitchell, but comfortably winning the second last heat, and he'll have got the job done there for a place in the final. Johnny Martin certainly will be there in the 16s. Gregor Ross just getting in front of Ewan Weir for third place.
Stefan will be defending his title, won it last year in that final, and will be up against some of these guys, I'm sure. Ethan Collins from Bells Hill in 0, Callum Aitchison, University of Aberdeen Performance in 1, Rory Webster, Dumfries in 2, Dylan Mitchell, Warren de Bass in 3, brother Connor Mitchell in 4, Roy Skringelis, City of Glasgow in 5, David Smith from Glenrothes in 6, Fraser McIntosh, South Lanarkshire in 7, Conor Christophorus, Aberdeen Dolphins in 8, and Samuel Whitehorn, Midlothian in line 9. And it's the older Mitchell. Conor won the 50 last night. Pretty clearly winning on that, and he's going to turn in a 30.76. So that's the fastest by nearly a second from Jack Mitchell. Connor was second, Connor was second last year. And this national age groups was second also at the British Summer Championships, just touched out for gold in that one, but he's looking very strong here. Is Connor Mitchell, entry times a 1:04.9, Youth Academy member. On his outside is Royas Kringelis, but he's absolutely smashed this one, Connor. Good heat swim from him, 1:05.33, so that is the fastest by a margin. Not far off his entry either. Royas Kringelis does get second. And in third,
Rory Webster.
So that's Connor Mitchell laying down a marker for Jack Mitchell and Stefan Krajovic as they take that final later on today, so that'll be a good one.
Yeah, but Connor certainly has laid down a statement there, as you said, Tony, and he's certainly looking right at the top of his game at the moment. 200 butterfly is next. There's the lineup for the first of 5 heats, and we have got Abby McMillan going in lane 1. Bella Geard will go beside her in lane 2 for Warrender. Her teammate Josie Grimes in 3. Sophia Faloni of Montefiore in 4. Emily Thompson of Perth City in 5. Cara White of Ren 96 in 6. And Emma Binney for Inverclyde in lane 7. So we've got 7 swimmers in this first of the 5 heats. 4 lengths of the pool in this demanding event.
Yeah, this is a tough one, this one.
And, 6 of the 7 swimmers going out just about together. Just Abby McMillan feeling the early pace a little bit. She might come back later, so see, because there's different ways to swim this 200 fly. Who's going to get the touch? Sophia.
It's really not one you want to go out too hard on. It can really hurt in that final 50. If you just misjudge the pacing even by a second or so, it can really pay in this event.
So it is Josie Grimes who is taking a good pace here. She's been a fast improving swimmer this year, Josie. She was a finalist in East Districts recently, a finalist last year. Bella Geard, in fact, it is that's leading the way. I'm getting confused in my Warrender swimmers. 1:15.73 for Bella. 4th in East Districts this year, rather. And she's certainly putting up a good first half there. Just 40.5 for her second 50, and she's opened up a good gap now with her teammate, maybe just edging into second, Josie Grimes, with Sophia Falone inside her. So Warrender setting the pace here. Warrender led the team competition after day 1, but they've been overhauled by City of Glasgow in day 2, and they'll be looking to try and come back today. 2:00.89. So
Josie the fastest in the pool by quite a margin there.
I knew I was right to be talking about Josie.
Well, she may well. Nice shot of Bella. Bella's still holding on.
Yeah, so good Warrender 1-2 here. Josie's not going to catch Bella. She's got this one wrapped up. Third place looks like it's going to be lane 5. Emily Thompson, she's having a good second half. So 3 red caps, 2 from Warrender, 1 from Perth. On Emily's shoulder though, Cara White not far away, but it's going to be a Warrender 1-2. Bella takes the win, 2:43.54. 4/10 inside her entry time. Josie Grimes in second, 2:44.85. And Cara White coming through to take third in the end. So that was a really good final 50 from Cara. The round swimmer taking third. Oh, in fact, actually, that's been reversed now. Emily Thompson Obviously, there was a bad touch there that's been corrected, so Emily Thompson taking third.
Moving on to heat 2, Olivia Russell from Cumbernauld in 0, Poppy Shaw from Best in 1, Lauren Broley, Faulthouse Penguins in 2, Millie Colvin from Dumfries in 3, Leah Rafferty, Western Bartonshire in 4. In 5, it's Kaylin Chan from Ren 96, Emma Burrell, Midlothian in 6, Kira Craig, Faulthouse Penguins in 7, Kira Finlayson, City of Glasgow in 8, Alana Wilson from Bellshill in lane 9. So pretty even again on this first 50 out there. Maybe lane 9, Alana Wilson, Kira Gregg going well, but down here in lane 1 we've got Poppy Shaw. But it's pretty close still. Poppy Shaw does take that first 50. And third at East Districts, Poppy.
Yeah, she's looking pretty strong there in lane 1, down the second length now, with 2 swimmers fairly close to her. Millie Colvin in 3, and up in lane 7, Kira Gregg. Faulthouse is another team that produces good endurance swimmers. See quite a few of them doing 200 fly.
Really pulled away on this 50 though, hasn't she, Kira?
Yep, so it is Kira Gregg now has had the strongest second 50. You see that 39.5, the only swimmer under the 40 for that second 50. And 14.58 her halfway split. Beside her in lane 6, Emma Burrell is starting to make a move. Still Poppy Shaw not too far away in lane 1, but Emma Burrell is the one to keep an eye on now as they come down length 3. It looks like she is up alongside and maybe just edging past Kira Gregg now. You can see there on the right hand side of your screen in the green cap, it is Emma Burrell really up in her standard. That's interesting to see her split here, 41.4. See, look at that, 2.5 seconds faster than the others.
Also Lauren Broley coming through fast in 2. She's got a long way to make up though, and it's going to be Kira. It's done well. She was just missed out on a medal at the Scottish Summer Meet last year. Kira was a finalist in this event at Snags, and she's gone strong. It is so fast finishing as well. In lane 2 is Lauren Broley. She's left her teammate, so it's going to be a Faulthouse 1-2 by the looks of it.
Oh,
Midlothian, sorry.
Yep.
Emma Burrell.
2:40.72. So close to her entry time that she did recently at East Districts, but well, hopefully that will earn her place in the 15-year-old final. That was a nice swim from Emma, really well managed in the second half there, just turned up the gas down length 3 and the rest was history after that. There is confirmation. Lauren Brolly, as she said, Tony, storming second, or last 50 rather, from the Faulthouse swimmer there. Millie Colvin taking third, so quite a lot of change in the order in the second half of that race. Now there's the lineup for heat number 3. Kaylee Moulton, Ren 96 in 0. Heidi Carr from Newcastle in 1. Ashley Drake of Warrender in 2. Alice Cummings, City of Glasgow in 3. Ola McInnes of Hearts in 4. Then 2 from City of Glasgow, Heidi Wren in 5. Louise Connell in 6. 7 is Alyssa Goodbrand from Eithen. Lucy Morgan, University of Aberdeen Performance in 8. And Beth Kelly of Warrender in lane 9. So strong start from Ashley Drake in lane 2 and Orla McInnes in lane 4. So 2 Edinburgh-based swimmers setting the early pace here. Orla McInnes, the winner here in the Scottish Summer Meet. And she has the early advantage, 32.16 in this first of the circle seeded heats. Heidi Wren in second, Ashley Drake in third. Not too much between those three, and they've opened up a gap of more than a body length on the rest of the field, headed by Alice Cumming in lane 3. Others pretty close, up at the top of your screen. So this looks like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, so Heidi and Ola have got some form in this race, and Ashley less so. So this is perhaps a bit surprising she's up with him. 109.41, so that is considerable improvement on previous heats, which you would expect. Maybe think Orla will come back strong on this second half of this race. She's definitely more of a known fly swimmer than Heidi. Heidi, better known for backstroke, Youth Academy member, but she did win West Districts, and it's a good race between these two. Maybe Orla just edging through, Ashley maybe just fading a little bit on that third 50, and it is Orla who is the fastest on that one. 148.68.
Of course, the butterfly is in the genes in the McInnes household, with big sister Kiana off to Paris with her absolutely fantastic displays in butterfly last week in London. But Orla is taking it on here and looking good. Look at that mouth there, gulping in the air as she goes down, and really getting into a beautiful rhythm here as she comes down the final length. That's how to do butterfly. And she is up by a good margin now as she comes in 2:26.67. So good, strong heat swim from her. And we'll see her again tonight, that's for sure, in the 17-18 age group final. Heidi Wren 2:33.30. Alice Cumming just getting past Ashley Drake there in the end. I think Ashley was suffering after their fast first 100, but hopefully we'll see Ashley again later on as well. Well, she'll be a bit on the cusp, I suspect.
Yep. I think maybe a bit more experience on these events, but it was good swim there. Moving into heat 4. Kristen Mackay from Finns is in 0. Kirsty Breakin, Aberdeen Dolphins in 1. Kira Pemble from Best is in 2. Abigail Crawford, Syria Glasgow in 3. Her teammate Stella McCarty in 4. Maddie Cool, University of Aberdeen Performance in 5. Emma Creaney, Cumbernauld in 6. Ellen Denny from Gary in 7. Rosie Liston, City of Glasgow in 8. And Lucy Hall, East Lothian in lane 9. So, no, lane 5 actually, sorry. So no Maddie Cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking that by day 3 usually you've got some aches and pains and there's 1 or 2 empty lanes, and we've not seen any up till now, but now we've seen one. Really cool, obviously not up for this one. If you have got those aches and pains, the 200 fly is not ideal.
Not at all. Stella McCarty taking it out, not surprising really. Stella, she second in this event last year, and was also second at the British Summer Champs. She set her entry time 2:17.7. She had a 2:20 something last week. British in the 200, she had a strong 100, and she's looking good. Senior Academy member Stella, 107.5, so that's a good couple of seconds up on Ola in the previous heat. She's looking good here, Stella.
Yeah, she's looking very good for this one. Second place in lane 6 is Emma Creaney. So she's going very nicely here. There's no lane 5, so she's been third fastest seeded in this one. Behind her, Abigail Crawford of City of Glasgow, but it's her teammate Stella who is in control of this one and has been the whole way through. 1:44.40, now 4 seconds faster than Orla McInnes' split, and you can see there are 36.9, everybody else over the 40. So this is very much the Stella McCarty show here, and again showing beautiful rhythm. It's all well, I was going to say it's all about rhythm, what do I know, but she's certainly just looking in the groove here as she comes down the final length, and it's going to be a nice swim. So another 37 would be just over the 2:20, and there you have it, 2:21.54. So I think she'll be pretty happy with that, just 4 seconds away from her entry time, and she'll be looking to up that tonight. Emma Creaney coming in second. She held second pretty much throughout that, and really almost the same split on that last 50 is Abigail Crawford behind her. So Abigail taking third, and Kira Pemble just behind her by a couple of seconds in fourth.
Solid swim there from Stella, and you can see her first off to the university in the States, I think, next year. So not many people do that, but she's following her previous City of Glasgow teammate Mark Ford over to the States. Wish her luck there. And this is the final heat with Macy Carty from Fauldhouse Penguins in 0, Gemma Brown, Carnegie in 1, Tia Aitken, University of Aberdeen Performance in 2, Ellie Kennedy, City of Glasgow in 3, Coco Croxford, South Lanarkshire in 4, teammate Evie Mackey in 5, Jessica Heaps from Fauldhouse Penguins in 6, Lauren Anderson, West Lothian in 7, Lucy de Grosser from Best in 8, and we've got Millie Barton from Bells Hill in 9. It's a firm favourite in this one, Coco Croxford, swimming in the 16-year-olds. She's already swum this morning in the 400, straight back in the pool on this 200 fly, and she does touch 31.55. Yeah, defending champion here. She got a medal at the European Youth Olympics where she was bronze, where she set her 2:15.98, so she's really strong standout class on this 16-year-old for 200 fly, the junior national team member. And Evie's trying to keep her company at the moment.
So South Lanarkshire 1 and 2 as they come down to halfway. Evie Mackey having a terrific week, is about a second behind Coco, a year younger. 1:07.61 is a very similar time to Stella McCarty's. Different age groups, of course. Coco in the 16 age group, so she won't be up against Stella in the final. But she's looking set for lane 4. This is probably her signature event, I think, 200 butterfly. And so you're seeing top level age group swimming here from Coco and from Evie. Evie, bronze medalist last year, but well, I wouldn't be surprised if she was better than that tonight. So 1:45.30 for Coco as she heads home. So these two well clear of a tussle for third, and there's a number of swimmers involved in that. Ellie Kennedy in 3. Beside her in lane 2, Tia Aitken, and then in lane 6 we've got Jessica Heaps, and then up at the top of your screen Lucy de Grosser and Millie Barton. So they're all pretty close for the lead, but no doubt about first and second. Coco brings it in 2:22.18, so again not that far from her entry time. Evie Mackey was entered on 2:24, so she comes in at a 2:28, and it was Tia Aitken just by a second taking third place from Jessica Heaps there. Good strong 38.5 there from Tia on her last 50, so good finish from her. Just based in Dubai, but swims in Scotland for the University of Aberdeen Performance team along with her sister Emmy.
She got bronze last night in the 400 IM. She came through very strongly in the finish there, so showing that strong finishing again on that heat of the 200 fly. Expect we'll see her later on.
Yeah, I was talking to Kathy Johnston, of course. You remember her as a great breaststroke swimmer, Commonwealth Games swimmer, now strength and conditioning coach out at Hamilton Aquatics, and so she's obviously giving them that endurance that they're showing this weekend. So settle down now for 1500 meters freestyle. We've got 3 heats coming up for you, so there's going to be around 50 minutes or so of swimming. The lineup for the first one, Cooper Sloss of Ren 96 goes in lane 0. Struan Payton, University of Aberdeen in 1. Daniel Hendry of City of Glasgow in 2. Keir Stormonth of Hearts in 3. Kyle Connolly of City of Glasgow in 4. Jed Armitage in lane 5 for Highland. 6 is Finlay Hiddleston of Dumfries. Fergus Reid of Geary in 7. Fraser Gemmell of Stirling Swimming in 8, and Lewis Maxwell Pauls from Warrender in lane number 9.
So, heat declared winner event this one, no finals. So it's all to swim for this morning across the different age groups. And, all about the pacing this one. this first heat. It's Carl Connolly, maybe, the City of Glasgow swimmer, and also Finlay Hiddleston are just taking an early lead. There's quite a big gap across this event, 17:57 through to 18:34. So it's going to be quite a spread across the pool as we go through this event, I would expect. And, it'll take them a few hundreds to get into the rhythm of where they are hoping to be for the rest of the race. And at the moment, it's still Carl Connolly, City of Glasgow swimmer, and Finlay Hiddleston. Youth Academy member Kyle. It's Finlay just edging on that turn there, but there's a long way to go yet.
Yep, this is where the intermediate splits come really in handy, and you just see how fast they're all going. There is a little bit of a current in this pool, so it will favour some of them going one way, some of them the other way. And the centre lanes, it probably should be fairly neutral. At 35.5 on the last split was the fastest one, but 35.7 for Carl Connolly, who leads, and he still leads there, and a 35.3 that time, just a tenth faster than Finlay Hiddleston on that split. 2:15.46, so around about 1:11, 35 and a halves. Still up there in lane 6, Finlay Hiddleston. So these two now a body length clear of the next pair, which is Jed Armitage in lane 5 and Fergus Reid in lane 7. Then you've got lane 9, Lewis Maxwell Pauls and Daniel Hendry in lane 2. So we seem to be going out in pairs here. We've got a pair at the front, pair 3rd and 4th, pair in 5th and 6th.
You do find that, don't you, with 1500s, people sort of latch on to each other, and then having the company as you go through doesn't help with the lane between, which is where all these pairings, the first two pairings, have got to. But they will be able to see each other, and maybe the benefit will be in lane 5. He's sitting between Kyle and Finlay, so he can just see whichever way he breathes, he's going to be able to see somebody he's trying to catch up. It's still Kyle.
So 35.8, 36.1, 35.8 for the top three. 3:27.43, so 1:12 for that third 100. Still pretty close there. There's just a little bit of a gap now appearing between Jed Armitage in 5 and lane 7, Fergus Reid. Interesting there for the Jed in lane 5, as you said, he's got swimmers either side of him, ahead of him. It means, I guess he's getting washed from the feet, whichever side of the lane he goes, so that's not great probably for him.
No, he just wants to get the drag rather than the wash, so it's just trying to get, you can see he's favouring, trying to latch on to Finlay Hiddleston. I think he'll just want to make sure he doesn't lose touch of them, because it's very hard to get back once you do, and he looks like he's picking up the pace a little to try and maintain that link to the leading two swimmers, who are really nothing between them. Well, there is, but it's 0.1 of a second, and it's Carl Connolly. You can see he just went a 0.1 faster and 0.12 on that one, so this does look like it's, this little battle is set to last for a bit longer.
Yeah, Jed Armitage now just a little more than a body length back, so there's been signs, I think, that he is picking it up a little bit, going back to the start end rather than going away from it. But let's have a look and see what the relative splits are. So 36.4s, and yes, you can see there Jed 36.8, so lost 4/10 on the other two in that one. Just 400s now between Kyle and Finlay, so they will be very aware of each other. And certainly Jed, I think, will need to push on hard here if he's to stay with them. Now we've got a tight contest for 4th and 5th, and that is lane 2, Daniel Hendry, and lane 7, Fergus Reid. So Fergus Reid just dropped back because he was contending early on with Jed Armitage. Not anymore.
He's made it now. You can see there, Jed, he pulled back on that one. Clearly desperate not to lose touch with these two. It's going to be tough if he does, because he's just in a no man's land. But you can see, we were talking about whether he was getting the wash or the pool. When he's swimming that direction, he's swimming next to lane 4. So Kyle Connolly on the way up the pool, and then he's almost like doing a training swim, because he's coming back down the other side. He's moved over to the other side of the lane, and he's trying to get the wash of the pool, Finlay Hiddleston. So he's sort of doing an anti-clockwise up and down on the side of the lane as he moves over now.
So is that a good idea? Because obviously it adds the length of your swim, but maybe it's worth it, is it, to get...
I suspect it's just what he does in training. So they always have to swim up one side and down the other in training, and my guess is it's sort of just hardwired into the way he's doing a long distance freestyle swim. So I may be doing him a disservice. I don't think it's a tactic, but I suspect it's just his swimming brain goes up one side and down the other.
Finlay Hiddleston's had a good 600, 7:04.21 then. He's just opened up a bit of a gap on Kyle Connolly now. 2.5 seconds. So see whether Kyle responds to that. So suddenly, instead of having 3 very close, we've got a clear 1, 2, 3 now. Going back to 4th place. Looks like Fergus Reid, well, I was going to say still just about holding off Daniel Hendry. I'm not sure that's right. We'll see as they come down very close, and then not that far behind them is Keir Stormonth, and in lane 8 Fraser Gemmell, and it's Finlay, the 36.0. So again he picked up half a second there. So he has decided it's time to assert himself.
Yeah, you can see he's just picked up the pace in that last couple of hundreds, and that's made the difference.
We talked about programs that have got good distance freestyle pedigree, and Dumfries now rapidly becoming one of them. We talked about some of the females, Amber Hinton, Georgia Dickey, and now we're seeing Finlay Hiddleston putting in a good show here. 16.85, so he's maintaining that 1:12.5 pace. He's been pretty consistent on that. Just put in a little burst of a 1:11 on the previous 100, but other than that he's been in the 1:12s. So that at the moment is good enough for what's this, about 3-meter lead.
Yeah, he's not dropped Kyle though, has he? So that can be one of the challenges of the 1500. If you put in a bit of pace to try and break your opposition and you don't manage it, that can come back. But he's still just over 2 or 3 tenths per 50 faster, so he is now back to nudging ahead rather than as you say, it's really up the pace for 100 or 2 when he went 1:11s. So he's now settled back into more of a pattern. So we're in a bit of a holding pattern here. All staying broadly the same apart, doing broadly similar 50s.
Yeah, so it was 8:52 at the halfway mark, so keep an eye on that and see whether he can manage a negative split, which would be, what, 17:45 or something like that. But, that's a big ask, of course, to negative split the 1500.
Does happen more frequently than you might expect.
Yeah, certainly coaches always encourage swimmers to try and build in the second half, so cancels out the advantage of the dive at the beginning, and of course you always have that fast last 50 as well. So we'll see whether Finlay, there's another 1:12 on his last 100, and there's another 36 there, so he is very consistently maintaining that pace, and that's another 6 tenths he's knocked off or up onto his lead from Kyle Connolly. So, and Jed Armitage also a little bit slower than Kyle, so it does now begin to look like this is going to be the 1, 2, 3. Still obviously a long way to go, but I think the swimmers have made their moves. 4th place now, and he's steadily making a good progress here. Keir Stormonth, the Hart swimmer, so we'll keep an eye on him to see whether he can bridge the gap up to Jed Armitage. probably a pretty big ask, but well, we'll see. Just keep an eye on his split compared with Jed. So Jed there on a 37.2. We're not actually seeing on the screen Keir Stormont, but I can tell you it's a 36.4. So that was an 8/10 that Keir picked up on Jed there in that last 50. So he's going very nicely.
He's got time to catch him up. He's about 5 seconds behind with 500 or 600 to go. And he's catching up. That's a second 100. So he's got the chance if he can keep this up as Keir.
So it's nice to see Sean Finley there, just under the 36 for that last 50. So he is, maybe signs that he is starting to pick up the pace now at the front of this race. You can now see Keir Stormont in the whole shot there as you see the top 4 coming down. So yeah, he's definitely got himself a chance here to get up into the top 3. Of course, we've got 2 more heats to come after this one in this heat declared winner event. 11:52.89, so we are back into the 111s here for Finley. 35.5 there, that's the fastest he's done for a while. So he's obviously feeling pretty good at the moment. So that was 1,000 meters. 500 to go.
Keir is definitely coming back. He's about 0.8 a 50 faster than Jed at the moment. You can see him now. He's not as closer to Jed than Jed is to Kyle. So that looks like that's a strong second half for Keir Stormont. And he's got every chance of catching up to take 3rd place in this heat.
So another good split from Finley there, 35.6 on that last 50. So he is grinding them out here now. Looks like he's very much 111s rather than 112. See if he can do about a 35.5 here again. And the answer is no, he can't actually. 36.3, so that's the slowest he's done for a while. So of course at this stage it does get tough. So let's see whether he can grind it up. I don't think there's any threat whatsoever to his lead, but he will want to keep the pace going strongly here. Just updating you on the Jed versus Keir battle. That was another half second knocked off for Keir. Just out of your shot at the moment. We should come into shot. There he is now. And you can see there, he's only about, what, 4 meters, 5 meters behind Jed. 36.0 there for Finley, so he definitely is feeling it a bit, and I think so is Kyle. We're not really talked about Kyle much recently, but there was a 37.0 for Kyle there, so I think he's maybe feeling it as well. He'll have given up on Finley Hiddleston now. He will be aware through the turns as to where Jed and Keir are, and he's well clear of them still, I think, so not really a threat, but it's very much a personal contest, I guess. There's, in a large extent, you against the clock.
So who's winning? Well, it's a nice swim from Finley. That was 36 again. I think Kyle just picked up his pace on that one. I think he's maybe felt the pressure from Keir. I think both Jed and Kyle just went almost a second faster in those 50s than they had been doing previously, because Keir is breathing down their neck. He's got quite a long way to make on Kyle, but he's definitely got Jed in his sights, but Jed's pulling back.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see their relative splits here, because surely Jed will be aware of Keir now, and it definitely looks like Keir is coming at him. And I can tell you that Jed was a 37.6 there, and Keir at 37.4, so only a couple of tenths gap difference between them in that one. So it's going to be pretty tight, I think, because they will run out of lengths eventually. They're coming up now to 1,300. 15.30 for Finley Hiddleston.
Definitely feeling a pace now. That was a 37. I think that's the first one of the first 37 points he's done. So it's only a couple of hundred to go. He just needs to pick it up again. Fighting, easy for us to say, but entry time for him. How's he looking on terms of where he's at for his time?
Well, he's looking under the 18 minutes, I think, and he's entered on 18:18. So I think this is looking pretty strong for Finley. And that was the 36.4, so he got it under the 37 there. The race is actually becoming a bit of a three-way contest for second now, because both Jed and Keir are closing in on Kyle. Kyle is finding this tough at the moment, so he's going to have to find something in this last 150 meters just to see off any threats. No such problems for Finley. This has been a great race from lane 6. You see the bell sounding for him in a 16:42, down to a low 36 there. So that was a good, strong penultimate 100. Now, let's see what the gap is. So through 16:55, Kyle Connolly. Third now, still Jed Armitage, 16:58. He's only a second up on Keir Stormont. So that is going to be very interesting now down the stretch between those two. Here we see Finley Hiddleston, so let's focus on him as he comes down his final 50. They're at 35.1 on that penultimate 50, so really picking up the pace nicely in the closing stages. He could be close to 17:50 here. Let's see if he can really drive on down this last length. Half a length to go. Let's see if he can really pick up that stroke rate, get those legs really hammering down. He will be aching and straining with every nerve in his body at the moment, but as they go into the final 5, just over the 17:50, great swim though, 17:51.81.
And it's a great battle. We can't quite see it yet on the screen, but Keir Stormont,
here they come,
and Jed Armitage have caught up. Kyle, who's going to get the touch? Is Jed going to hang on? I think he is just, but Keir Stormont almost comes from nowhere in that last 500 to take it, but it's Jed Armitage who gets an 18:6.81, and Keir just edged out after all that 18 minutes of swimming. It's just 0.3 between second and third, but no doubt about the winner. Finley Hiddleston, storming race there, getting under that 18 minutes for the first time, I would suggest. Massive improvement on his entry time.
I feel for Kyle Connolly there, just it was probably about 200 meters too far in the end there.
Yeah.
18:07 for him, just touched out by the other two guys. As our remaining swimmers come in, that is Struan Payton that we're seeing coming in for 10th place. But a nice swim from Finley Hiddleston there, confirmed under the 18, 17:51.81. Taking it from an 18:18 entry time, and that was a recent time as well. That was done in West District Championships just a month or so ago. So your lineup for heat number 2, we've got Lewis Gow going in lane 0. That is for Tiverton, and in lane 1 we have got Finley Geddes of Lerwick, so pretty much opposite ends of the country. Taylor Sinclair of Elgin in 2, Toby Bullock of Midlothian in 3, then 2 from South Lanarkshire, Jamie Gilchrist in 4, Kai Connolly in 5, Hayden Sterling of St Thomas in 6, Thomas Traynor in lane 7 for South Lanarkshire, Innes Gow of Geary in 8, and Aaron Drake of Warrender in lane 9. So the entry times in this one range from 17:57, Kyle Connolly. Oh no, that's wrong. We'll get 17:14 for Jamie Gilchrist, up to 17:48 for Aaron Drake. So they should all be faster than Finley Hiddleston from the previous heat. It's not necessarily the case if they're just not on their game today. Good starts in lanes 2 and 3. That's Taylor Sinclair and Toby Bullock. Toby showing his versatility of strong breaststroke swims earlier, and now putting in the 1500, and has the lead earlier on 1:03.44. Nearly a second faster than the first 100 from the previous heat.
unusual combination, breaststroke and 1500 freestyle.
Yeah, I've seen one or two swimmers do that. I'm thinking in the female side, Tegan Black is one that we've seen, and she's a strong breaststroker, a strong distance freestyler. So it can be done. But yeah, perhaps not normal. Four swimmers all up there. Toby and Taylor at the bottom of your screen, and then near the top, Thomas Trainer in his gow.
To your pairings again.
Except you've got a trio behind the top four. In lane 4 is Jamie Gilchrist, and then we've got Hayden Sterling in 6, just ahead of Kai Connolly in 5, and pretty much with them up in lane 9, Aaron Drake. But it is a foursome at the front. Two together on either side of the pool. Toby again just edging it to 12.47, now 3 seconds faster than the previous heat, so that's around about a 69 for the 100 there.
And Aaron Drake in 9, same age as Finlay from the previous heat, so only one other 15-year-old to go, Connor Aspinall in the final heat, so may just keep an eye on that 15-year-old virtual race that's going on. I'll have to go some to keep up with that super swim from Finlay previously. But, still these two pairings either side of the middle. Toby Bullock.
Yep, Toby going in the 16 age group, and looking at that, we've just got one more 16-year-old.
Oscar
Chernside, yep, in the next heat. So again, there'll be medals at stake in this one for the 16-year-olds. So now we're down to 3 at the front, just dropping off Innisgow a little bit. As Toby Bullock continues just to manage to get his feet on the wall first by not very much at all. So he still has the edge, but still right beside him is Taylor Sinclair from Elgin. So Elgin have produced some really great swimmers over the years. That's where Lucas Brown comes from. And we've seen swimming really well for University of Stirling this week. Thomas Trainer, we talked about South Lanarkshire and their distance swimmers. Thomas very much in that area. Part of the East Kilbride programme under Andy Figgins. But it's Taylor and Toby. They've been side by side the whole way so far, and there's absolutely no sign that either is slackening off at all. But now they've been overtaken by Thomas. 4:31.56. So Thomas Trainer, he goes in the 17-18 age group. And he has upped his game a bit in that last 50. So good strong stuff from him. So we come down now towards the 450. And there you can see the threesome and Thomas at the top of your screen. Looks like he's still just got the edge, but let's just see as they go through this turn. He does lead them, 34.6 split, exactly the same, or within a 100th of Toby Bullock, and then Taylor just a little bit back now, and Jamie Gilchrist 35.2 behind them, but he's a fair way back on the top 3. Although we saw from Keir Stormont that you can close the gaps in the second half if you can get into a good strong rhythm.
Yeah, so those guys who are 5 or 10, 5 meters back are not out of it. Thomas is, so just pulling away, isn't he?
Yeah,
half a second quicker there.
Yeah, that's nice stuff. He's certainly getting into his stride now. 5:40.57, so just under a 69 for that last 100. So we're into the second third of the race. For those of you who like to divide their 1500s into 3 lots of 500.
Aaron Drake wasn't on your screen, but he's a couple of seconds up at the moment on Finlay in the previous heat, and the 15-year-old battle. But that's still 1,000 to go, so just keep an eye on that. Thomas is definitely just eking away. That was another just under half a second quicker there. Set this time, entry time at the championships last year, Thomas, where he was second. So he's, I think he's on just about faster pace than that, roughly. 34.4. Yeah, another half a second on Toby. So just slowly but surely, half a second every 50.
Yeah, so they are quite a long way apart, aren't they? I imagine they will be aware of what's going on in front of them. They also sometimes get a sneaky look at the scoreboard as they turn towards it. But, certainly Thomas is now looking strong there on the right hand side of your screen there. 34.6 against the 35.3 for Toby, a 35.7 for Taylor. So the three are stretching out now. I sort of called it. The three were stretching out into a clear 1, 2, 3 in the first heat, and then, well, not at the front, but it certainly changed at second and third in the latter stages. So we won't call anything just at this stage. Next turn will be 700 meters, and then the next time they're at the turn end, it will be halfway.
It's looking very steady there, and he's banging out these 34, 5, 6s very regularly now. He's definitely got into a pretty good rhythm. That's Thomas, and just looks like he's got the better of Toby at the moment. Much higher pull there for Toby, getting his head out of the water, grabbing that oxygen. Thomas is just a bit flatter stroke, just head really only slightly coming out of the water when he takes his breath. 8:33 at halfway, so that's nearly 20 seconds faster than the previous halfway in the last heat.
Yeah, so that gives you an idea of the sort of pacing that we're seeing from Thomas. So he's entered 17:34, but certainly pacing well inside that. I think the 17:10s or thereabouts.
That's a nice improvement if he can keep this going. He doesn't look like he's letting it go at the moment, and he doesn't. That's almost identical to the last time he turned up this end. So he's really knocking out a superbly consistent 1500 swim here, over halfway now. Toby Bullock did pull up a faster 50 on that one, but he's still repping exactly a second behind Thomas Trainer on that last one. So that was a second on that last 50 that Thomas pulled away.
It is.
He is metronomic.
Oh, very good. Thinking exactly the same, Tony. We've been commentating together too long. Yep.
I think it's a lot harder for him to do than us.
That's for sure.
But he's looking really strong. This is a super 1500. If he can keep this up, he's going to get himself a nice big improvement. Super, 34.49 on that one. Over a second up now. Just touching on the 15-year-old race that's going on in our heads. 10:33 for Aaron, so he's now 8 seconds up on Finlay in the last heat, so putting himself in a good position there, Aaron. Still got Connor Aspinall to come, who's 17:11 entry. Thomas is picking up the pace. That's a 34.2.
If he can get into the 68s for the remainder of this race, that will be very strong stuff. Potentially will get him down knocking on the door of 17 minutes.
That would really send out a marker.
Thomas has said in the 17-18 age group, so there will be some tough, strong swimmers coming up in the next heat. Most of them in that age group, so we'll see.
But he'll have posted his time, so you know.
Yep.
It's just put them under a little bit of pressure. Some of them anyway. We'll see whether they can respond to that. And, still.
The race for second and third is interesting because Toby is not getting away from Taylor here. It'll be interesting to just check on their splits as they go through 10:50. I can tell you that Toby was a 35.4 and Taylor a 35.6, and not a lot between them. Just see Toby in your shot there, but you can just see now the head of Taylor. And there's what, 4 or 5 meters between the two of them?
Very different strokes. Taylor, very long, rangy. Not a lot of excess energy. Toby's slightly bouncier, higher up, breathing more deliberately. We've lost the little splits on the screen, unfortunately, but
Toby, bronze medalist last year, winner at the Scottish Summer Meet, winner at East Districts. Taylor was third in the North Districts, third Midland swimmer. Oh, sorry, what am I talking about? Midlands, Elgin's not in the Midlands, not very much in the North, so third North District swimmer. Still pretty close there for 4th, 5th and 6th now.
yeah.
Jamie Gilchrist has the 2 on the far side, Innisgow and Aaron Drayton. That's good for Aaron when he's chasing that time for a place on the 15-year-old podium, to have those swimmers to race against. So you'll see them coming through.
I mean, they're swimming faster than Kai, Toby and Taylor at the moment. They're almost on the same pace as Thomas Trainer, Innes and Aaron, so they're really pushing each other well on that far side, trying to catch up with
Yeah, and it's not that Thomas is getting it slow, because he's still banging out these 69s very consistently. So yeah, you do see individual races going on across the pool. Does look like Thomas is having to grab some oxygen when he can there as he breathes to his side. Now keeping his head nice and down when he breathes, though, is not seeing that big lift of the head, which can get in the way of your streamlining.
Toby looks like he's just responding to that push. Taylor just slightly slower on that 50, just a couple of tenths slower. So Toby's consolidating. 200 to go for Thomas as he turns. 14:52.85. Another 34.
So you can do the maths now. If we do keep on those 109s, then you've got talking about 2:18 to add to 14:52. So you are talking about level pacing in 17:10 marks. Expect him to get a little bit of a sprint to get him under 17:10. So this is going to be good stuff from him. His entry time, 17:34. It is an oldish time, as we said earlier on, done here last year. So he would be hoping to take that down somewhat, and is certainly delivering on that. So down, it'll be the bell next time. So he'll have his strategy for the final 100. His body will be telling him lots of things other than what he wants to hear. Going through just over the 16 minutes, 16:01.61. So again, another 69 there. So we'd expect him to pick it up in the final 100. The bells sound for Toby, 16:16. and Taylor 16:21. Then that race on the far side, we can't see that, but there is, I can tell you, a cracking race going on between Innes Gow and Aaron Drake, which can only be good for Aaron in the 15 contest. But 50 to go for Thomas, 16:35, took it down to a 33.7 there. And look at that stroke rate going now. He has really upped his game down this fast length. What do you think, Tony? Definitely under the 17:10.
Definitely. This has been a really, really strong swim from Thomas. He went a 33 in that last 50. He's going to go 31 or 32 here, I think. 16.7, 16.8. Sorry, 17.7, 17.8. What a swim. Is he going to make it? He is. There we done. What a super, super swim for Thomas. 17.08, 41. And he smashes his entry time, which was a 17.34. Toby coming in. There is a cracking race going on. It's now coming into your screen at the top of the pool. I think Innes is going to take that, but it's Toby gets second. Here we go. And Innes just edges that one. But a super swim for Aaron. 17.34.84.
Yeah, we'd be happy with that. Entered 17:48, so that makes him the fastest 15-year-old with one more swimmer to come. So he's guaranteed at least a silver medal from the Warrender swimmer. Toby Bullock right on his entry time there, 17:22. He was entered on 17:22.70, so within a tenth of a second after 1,500 meters of swimming. And Taylor Sinclair 17:30. He's inside his end time by about 3 seconds. Unfortunately, disqualification there from Finley Geddes, swimmer that was in lane 1. I don't know, did he stop? I didn't really notice. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It would be pretty demoralising
Yeah.
to do a full 1,500.
And then you did a flyer. Yeah, at the dive.
I really do
Ouch.
hope that he just, unfortunately for him, I hope he's okay.
So you can see the swimmers there for the final heat. I'll give you the lineup. Jack Simpson in 0 for South Lanarkshire. Panos Angelakis of East Lothian in 1. Ewan Jones of West Lothian in 2. James Boddy of Geary in 3. Scott Fleming of South Lanarkshire in 4. William Shepherd of Perth City in 5. Oscar Churnside of Geary in 6. Callum Sinclair of West Lothian in 7. Fraser Tetlow of Geary in 8. And Connor Aspinall of East Lothian in lane 9. So the 115-year-old is Connor Aspinall up at the top of your screen, and the 116-year-old is Oscar Churnside, who goes in lane 6, so just to the left of the golden lanes. All the others in the 17-18 age group have to beat Thomas Trainer's 17:08.41. Scott Fleming, I was amazed when I heard this last night that in all his swimming at national age groups, he had not won a gold medal until yesterday, and then two come
along, it's like buses.
And he'll be fancying his chances to make it number 3 here. The South Lanarkshire swimmer. He was a top 8 in the Edinburgh International, top 8 in National Short Course, top 10 in British Summer Championship, so he knows how to swim this event. And he goes through the only swimmer to go under the minute for the first 100, 59.78. William Shepherd second. He's a strong distance swimmer as well, the Perth City swimmer. James Boddy in third, does quite a lot of open water, James, as do a good number of the Geary crew. Another team that is famous for producing distance swimmers. So 1:31.65, William Shepherd, James Boddy, 1, 2, 3. We will, as these splits go, just keep an eye on Oscar and Connor and how they're getting on. Oscar's currently sitting in 4th place, so he's going nicely in lane 6, and you can see there up on the top of your screen there, Connor Aspinall in lane 9. So 2:03.53, so that's much faster than we've seen for Scott, and he's 2.5 seconds nearly up. I can tell you that Connor Aspinall 2:11, so he started well. and Oscar Churnside 2:09. So I think both of them in good shape at the moment for golds in their respective age groups, but as we always say in the 1500, you can't win it in the first 200 meters. It's all about swimming consistently for 17 minutes or so. But certainly it is Scott Fleming who has put himself in a very strong position early on here. He's already about 7 meters up on William Shepherd. Third place, James Boddy, just ahead of Oscar Churnside, the 16-year-old. So through 300, 3:08.44. So we're talking about 65s here. See there, 32.6 for them, 33.1 for Williams, so half a second slower on that 50. And then a trio of swimmers going for third. So the 17-18 bronze medal could be decided in that battle. And of course, they have to be faster than Thomas Trainer. And we'll keep an eye on that as well. 32.6 for Scott, so these 65s is very much the pace he's settling in on. And over a second now faster than William Shepherd on that one, so that lead is just growing and growing now. Third, James Boddy. So James Boddy there on a 34.
So only 400 gone and they're strung along the length of the pool. Scott's really set a good pace here. 34.13.43. I mean, that's only a 4:04 did he for his individual, so it's not 9 seconds slower than his individual. Certainly cracking on here.
Yes, I don't really know what you would expect as, translating a 4 to a 15 as to whether, 4:04 to 4:13 is about right. You tell me, because I don't know.
Me neither. Doesn't sound like a big gap when you've got another 4 of them to do, or 3 of them to do. You're only 9 seconds down. It's only a couple of seconds, 100 down. So that does seem, but he's certainly going at a pace. He's had a busy week already, not shirking from it. Quantity of events, even having swum last weekend at the British.
I guess as 18-year-old, so this will be his last national age group championships, and that's a bit of a milestone in your swimming career, isn't it? When you know you're not going to be back next year.
Unless you do a relay.
That's true.
But in the individuals, that's it. And as you say, it was quite remarkable to hear that he hadn't won. He's just steadily come through, hasn't he, Scott? He's always been there or thereabouts and just stuck at it. Bride swimmer, so he'll be thinking about what to do now as he transitions into post-age group swimming. So we'll just check on these 500 times. Oscar 5:36.68, so he's 5 seconds up on Toby, and Connor Aspinall 5:42.54 is 8 seconds up on Aaron. So at the moment the 16 and 15-year-old winners are sitting in this heat, but they're going to have to keep that pace up though, but they are ahead of Toby and Aaron respectively.
Yeah, it's quite tough to keep tabs of all the different contests that are going on here as we focus on the leader, and I think we've got certainly an easy call to make on the 17-18s at the moment, but the pace has just dropped slightly from Scott now. We're talking more like 66s from the 65s that we were at. I don't think that is an issue as far as this race is concerned. He will obviously have his target, 16:20 his entry time, and he'd love to get down towards 60 minutes. I always feel when your time starts with a 15, that's a big milestone to crack.
Yeah. So
in this race, there. Of course, probably the top 18-year-old not here this weekend, Luke Hornsey, who's now swimming with Edinburgh University, and he's well into the 15s now.
Yeah.
So it swam really well at the British last week. But his absence is good news for Scott, and he is coming down now to 700 meters. And he goes through that 7:31.42. So again, sort of around the 66s now. Just slightly over 66 for that last 100. Bit faster coming back down to the start end than he was going up. We'll see whether that is a thing.
Well, you mentioned there was a current in the pool.
Yeah, and I don't mean a dried fruit. And it will affect different lanes in a different ways, but because of course they're going in both directions, it all cancels out. 33.3 there for Scott going up the pool. We'll see. I think he'll be faster than that coming down.
50s, you get a benefit in the 50.
Well, that's it.
You're only doing one length.
Yeah. But I guess when you're going at that pace, the currents don't really come into play. So that was the halfway split there. 8:04.81 for Scott.
So he's on for a nice improvement if he can keep that pace up.
8:38, so 33.2 there, so a little bit faster coming down, but not much.
Psychologically over the halfway mark. William was just over 33.5 on that last one, so he's trying to stick at a similar pace as Scott at the moment. And I think your current theory is working, because you want in the pool here we have the times coming up, and they go green if they're faster than the previous 50, and red if they're slower, and orange, which is exactly where Scott's got to, same 33.26 there to show if you've got the same time as the last 50. Everyone's going green towards the start end, and they're all red towards the finish end. So sorry, towards the other end of the pool. So that does seem to be a pattern on this 1500.
So up to 900 then. 66 would be 9:44, and we're bang on track for that. 9:44.37, a 33.0 there, so slightly faster there, by a couple of tenths. So it's very much now just focusing on Scott as he comes up. You know, this big lead. Our cameraman cannot keep any of the ones behind him in the shot now. His lead is so big. You just see them as they go past each other on after the turn. I can tell you now that Oscar Churnside going through 900 in 10:15. He's still going well in lane 6, and Connor Aspinall just turning at 900 in 10:29. Give us the scores on the doors compared with the other guys, Tony.
When we get to 1,000.
Okay.
I'll leave you in suspense until we do another 100 meters, and then.
Oh, you tease.
Yeah. Got to keep the suspense going.
So Scott has hit the 1,000 meters there, 10:51.38. Just slightly slower on that 100.
This is a tough bit. You're over half, but you've still got another 500 to go. It's psychologically pushing yourself on, knowing you've got the 500.
Yeah, and I guess it must be tough because he knows he's got the race sewn up. He's well clear. He'll know he's well clear. But it's all then about mental stuff, about, you know, it's not just about winning the race. It's about winning the race well and getting the time that you were hoping to get. So he really has to concentrate hard,
Absolutely.
I think, in his last few 100 meters.
He'll want a good time. He'll know he's on a good pace. He would have liked to have somebody with him, I suspect, but
you can't choose that, can you? You can only do your own thing.
Oh, well, suspense was worth it. So, Toby, we've got Oscar is now 9 seconds up on Toby's time previously, but Connor is getting back closer to Aaron. Connor was 11:41, and Aaron turned in 11:44. So only 3 seconds between them, and I know Aaron definitely came back strong, so Connor's going to have to really push it here. It's really tough for him because he's pretty much on his own out there in lane 9. He's got a swimmer in 2 Ewan Jones going with him, but they are on opposite sides of the pool, so that's going to be really tough for Connor.
Yeah, Connor coming back from a pretty serious injuries. He's just been really back in the pool since Christmas. So probably a 1500 is a tough one to come back when you're really just returning to full fitness. He gave it a cracking go in the 400 yesterday, so we'll see whether he can match that time from Aaron Drake. He certainly started off strongly, and now it's about holding it on. But let's focus back on Scott Fleming. Now coming up to the 1200, so we've been wanting to get back to the 66s, so 1304, 33.3 there, so around about a 67. I'm sure he'd like to be a little faster than that if he can in the remaining stages here. We'll start to wind it up 65s, maybe 64s. So if we do 3 more 67s, we'll be talking about 16:25 or thereabouts. His entry time is 16:20, so he would like, I'm sure, to wind it up now in the 250s. Still certainly could pick up a PB if he can pick up the pace. You can see there the lap card, 5 lengths to go for him, but it definitely needs to wind it up here to try and get inside his 16:20 entry time. It's tough. We talked about that. It's tough to do when you're on your own like this.
You know you've won. You're only actually halfway through the meet. You've got Saturday and Sunday to come. He's got other events. He's had his turn. He's got his 100 fly still to come. What was that? 14:11.78.
That was another 67 for him there. He's looking. I guess the fact that he's now got swimmers to come and lap, that will help him because he can feed off them.
Yep. So Connor Aspinall was a 14:05.5 compared to 14:07 for Aaron. So that one is definitely closing up. But he's still keeping a good pace, Connor. Still in around the 110s, 110.5, so he's given himself a good chance. As you said, he's been injured at nil. He's working hard to stick at it, Connor.
So you catch sight of him and would think at the top of your screen, he's just ahead of the camera at the moment. There he is now. You can see with Scott Fleming bearing down on him, and he's bearing down on the swimmers on the other side of the pool as well to lap them as we come up to the bell. So let's see if he has been able to pick up his pace in the penultimate 100. And the 33.5, so still around those 67s there, but he will be faster, but he needs a 62 to match his entry time. I think that might be a bit tough. I think he might just be a little bit away from it. What you don't know, of course, is whether that was a conversion or whether that is a long course time. He's, as I said, has a proud record in this 1500 freestyle, and certainly can improve from the bronze medal he got last year. So 33.1 on his penultimate 50. Expect this to go down to maybe 31, 32 in this last one. He's gone past the swimmers on the near side. He's gone past Connor on the far side. So Scott bringing it down, 15 meters to go, driving on as the clock comes towards the 16:20. So he's not quite going to get that 16:20, but he won't be far away from it. 16:22.66. He got down to a 64. You see a 30 point there on his final 50. So the bells ring out now. So if we look at Oscar Chern's side, 16:07 with 100 to go. Where does that stand, Tony?
He's going to get under it nicely, I think. 17:22 was Toby's time, so he's got to go under a 1:15. So he's going to do that. He's repping 68. So Oscar's good.
So William Shepherd, 16:41 in for second there, and that was faster than Thomas Traynor, so he will get the silver. Let's check on James Body, 17:01, so he will take the bronze in the 17-18 age group. Now, We see Oscar Churnside coming in lane 6, just behind Callum Sinclair, so both on 17-13s.
So Connor was just over a second up on Aaron at that 1400 turn. So this is all to play for. Aaron had somebody to swim against.
So what's the time he's got to get?
He's aiming for a 17:34.84.
Let's see if he can do that.
Oh, he does.
Just. 17:34.06. Wow. Gutsy swim there. 33.2 at the end there. Panos Angelakis finishing like a train there at 30.5. Wow. So those two East Lothian swimmers there, 6th and 7th. Big difference in their ages. And there is your official result then. So Scott Fleming takes gold in the 17-18s with William Shepherd and James Body joining him on the podium. Oscar Churnside will take gold in the 16 age group, and by the skin of his teeth, it was Connor Aspinall taking gold in the 15s. Now we've got that swim off I was promising you, and this is for second reserve in the 50 freestyle in the 15 age group, and it's going to be Rory Keegan-Ward of City of Glasgow up against Callum Mackenzie of Perth City. They both did a 26.87 in the heats earlier. So what's your prediction? Can they certainly under 26.5?
You've got to think so, haven't you? Got to think so. They're off. Only a 100th difference on the start there. And as you might expect, it's pretty close. Contrasting styles here, very straight arm for Perth City's Callum Mackenzie, and that's being effective at the moment over Rory. And I think Callum has got this one. He's really pulled out the stops on this sprint swim off. Oh, not just under 26.5, nearly under 26. 26.19 for Callum Mackenzie. I suspect that would have ranked him quite high if he'd managed to do that in the heat. That was for a second reserve spot, I think, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
26.52 for Rory. So still an improvement of 0.3. So
Callum was furious on that one, wasn't he? And furious in a good sense that he was absolutely giving it hammer and tongs down that length.
He was. So super swim off there. So I'm going to do some presentations now. If any of those 1500 swimmers can walk to the podium.
Almost more challenging than racing it.
That's a nice bit of bling at the end, so that'll get them there, I'm sure.
So we'll see them coming up very shortly. And we talked about Connor Aspinall and Aaron Drake. That excellent swim in the first heat from Finlay Hiddleston earns him the bronze medal. We'll see him in a moment.
Unusual to get 3 medalists coming from 3 different races in the same event.
Also in the 16-year-old, we had the Battle of the Gowls. Innes from Geary was ahead of Lewis from Tiverton, so Innes Gow, we'll see him on the bronze medal podium as well, behind Oscar Churnside and Toby Bullock. So just getting ourselves organised at the moment. You see there, looks like we've got Colin Barton there, the Midlothian coach. How is he going to be doing these? And we've got Anthony Ryan as well up there, so I'm not sure he's going to be doing these presentations. So he'll be presenting to one of his swimmers shortly. Here they come onto the podium. So we've got pretty strong of that orange and dark blue from Geary on that podium. So your bronze medalist then, 15-year-old age group, that is Finlay Hiddleston with that excellent swim from the first heat. So the medals come out. And Finlay, it's me. Well done to him in the 16s. bronze medalist was Ines Gao. And in the 17-18 age group, also from Geary, it's James Boddy. And the silver medalists, well, it was close in the 15-year-old age group, but it was Aaron Drake. It's a shame in a way they weren't racing together, those two.
That would have been a good one. 0.7 behind the gold medalist.
So Aaron Drake of Warrender in the 16-year-olds, Toby Bullock of Midlothian, so coached by Colin. And in the 17-18s, it's Perth City's William Shepherd. And your champions, the 15s then, that's his first gold of these championships, having just missed out in the 400. Connor Aspinall gets it for East Lothian. In the 16s, it's Geary's Oscar Churnside. And there is Scott Fleming for South Lanarkshire with that excellent swim, way ahead of everybody else. And that is gold medal number 3 now in these championships for Scott. So cracking stuff. As they get ready for photo time. You'll see the photos on social media, I'm sure, very shortly. What a bonny crew.
Nice stuff.
Yeah, enjoyed the 1500s there. It was some good racing going on.
Really good, both in the pool and virtually across different heats. But some super swimming. And from one pace of event to another, we've now got the relays. This is the 4x100 freestyle this morning. It's females. We got 3 heats of 14 to 16-year-olds, and then we have 1 heat of 17 and over. 2 heats of 17 and over, sorry. So 5 heats of relay to come.
Yeah, we have seen some absolutely storming relays so far this week, so hopefully we're not going to be disappointed here. They shall line up for the first heat. Inverclyde, East Lothian, that's a B team for them. Then you've got Borders, Warrender, that's a B team as well. South Aberdeenshire and University of Aberdeen is also a B team. So 3 A teams, 3 B teams in here. Submitted entry times, then we'll have to submit entry times for these relays. And it's all pretty close, 4:22 up to 4:24. We'll be able to give you the lineups as we go. I can give you the first swimmers. It's going to be Emma Binney leading off for Inverclyde, Christina Angelakis for East Lothian B in 3. Borders with Poppy Shaw, Warrender B with Katie Cooper, South Aberdeenshire with Alana Herbert, and University of Aberdeen B led off by Lucy Morgan.
Lane 4 maybe. Poppy Shaw, best swimmer. Looking like she's just easing ahead. 16-year-old Poppy.
Yeah, the Borders team, I guess, have similar problems to Highland in that there's a big geography that they have to cover to come together as a composite team. But certainly setting off a rate of knots here. Poppy Shaw from Berwickshire swims with Eyemouth, and she's opened up a handy gap here to give to her team. She's going to hand over to the Hoyt-based swimmer, Hayden Holmes. Always love that, Hayden Holmes of Hoyt. Nice alliteration, and off she goes, 1:02.97. East Lothian B, it's Isla Wetton, who's the backstroke specialist, going freestyle here in lane 3, and then in lane 2, it's Inverclyde with Lucy McLaughlin. The other 3 swimmers, South Aberdeenshire's Gemma Coots, Anastasia Enoch for University of Aberdeen, and Bella Geard for Warrender B.
So dominating at the moment our Borders composite team with Hayden Holmes, 14-year-old Hayden, so this is a 14 to 16 age group, so quite a range of ages here. And she's the youngest member of that best team, but she's doing well at the moment, pushing her see a good close-up of her there. Breathing every 3, and now does every 2 now. And she's still got a decent lead. It's very close though between East Lothian, Isla Wetton and Lucy McLaughlin for Inverclyde here in lanes 2 and 3, but it's still best. 2:8:28.
So taking it on now is Kelsey James, another Hoyt-based swimmer for best. Well, it's really close. East Lothian has Macy Laidlaw, Inverclyde, Lois Herbman, Jodie Grimes coming up strongly for Warren DeBee, Josie Grimes, South Aberdeenshire with Lauren Cantley and Amber Littlejohn for University of Aberdeen, as we focus in on Kelsey there as she turns, still with a pretty substantial lead, 2:39.19, so leads by 4.5 seconds at the 2:50 mark. The race is now East Lothian versus Warrender for second place, so good third leg from Josie Grimes, and not far behind still Inverclyde. So these three all battling for second. I'm not sure they're going to be able to catch Best though. Up to the 300, Kelsey James hands over to Isla Macquarie, based in Agala Shields. Didn't pick up a split there, but they certainly have the advantage. Warrender now clear in second. The Warrender B team anchored by Iona Robertson. Ailey Fee for East Lothian B in third, and Inverclyde with Abby McInerney. Now she'll be strong on this anchor leg, having a great meet. Over on the other side, University of Aberdeen with Alisa Flockhart and Imogen Lowe for South Aberdeenshire, local derby going on there. But with 50 to go, it's 3:44.99, about three and a bit seconds advantage for Best. They're not going to be caught. The question is who's going to get second here, because Inverclyde now right up there with Warrender. Still just maybe Warrender, but can they hang on? Borders are going to take the win. What's the time going to be? Of course, 2 more heats to come, and it looks like Inverclyde coming through for second, but Best to Best as we finish this first heat, 4:19.13, so nicely inside their submitted entry time. Inverclyde with a cracking last leg from Abby, taking second, 4:22.02, and Warrender just behind them, 4:23.07.
Good race to get us started. Strong swim there from Best. Good quartet. That's the time to beat for the next few heats. It's faster than some of these entry times. So in this second heat, this one, we have Highland Swim Team in 0, Ren 96 in lane 1, Glenrothes with Katie Wells in 2, Perth City's Grace Renfrew in 3, Aberdeen's Jasmine Robertson in 4, West Lothian Molly Weir in 5, Mulcahy and Bearsden's Rose McDermott in 6, Stirling Swim's Anna Lee in 7, Carnegie's Abigail Deacon in 8, and City Glasgow, this is our C team. I've got Olivia Caldwell going out in lane 9. That's a very strong start in lane Mulcahy and Bearsden in 6. Rose McDermott got nearly a second up on that first 50, going well as well in Ren 96 here in lane 1. That's Kaylee Moulton. That's no doubt about the team that are going to go take over as they go into the second leg first. That's Mulcahy and Bearsden. Rose McDermott looking very strong. She's going to be handing over to Iona Hickston. On her inside is West Lothian's Molly Weir, handing over to Sophie Ragg, and down here in 1, Kaylin Chan for Ren 96 has just gone in, just in second. So that's a 1:02.89, so not only 0.08 faster than the first heat, so but this is looking strong as well from Mulcahy and Bearsden. This is Iona Hickson. And she's started well in this first 50 of her 100. Stirling Swims Sienna Melville outsider and still going strong as Ren 96 with Kaylin Chan. But it is Mulcahy and Bearsden's Iona Hickson, fastest, just Stirling Swimming, and maybe just slightly faster on that leg, but they've got a lot to make up. And they're coming back strong, but it's still Iona Hickson from Mulgine Bearsden holding off the other teams. It's not moved that much in this second leg. Ren 96 still in second with Sterling Swimming and Sienna Melville in third. So as they turn over, Iona Hickson handing over to Joanna Calder. For Ren 96, we've now got Evie Chan. So Kaylin handing over to her little sister. And she's going well, is Evie, on that first 50. And she's already starting to catch up with Maisie, with Joanna Calder from Mulgine Bearsden. Still Sterling Swimming in third with Ellen White. But this has been a good first 50 for Evie Chan here in lane 1. And they have pulled back a bit on Mulgine Bearsden. Still Joanna, Evie about 0.3 faster on that one. City of Glasgow had a good fast leg on that one. And they're coming through as well in lane 9, but it's still Mulgine Bearsden. They have led from the very gun of this race, very first 50. And it's still Mulgine Bearsden, followed by Ren 96, followed by Sterling. And on this final leg for Mulgine Bearsden, we're going to have Chloe Kirk. Ren 96, we've got Cara White coming in. There's not a lot between them, 0.6. And there's now a 2.5 second gap between Ren 96 and Sterling Swimming's Lisa McNair. She's had a good meet. Is she going to come back strong? Also going well. Next to Mulgine Bearsden is West Lothian with Natalie Moody. She's a fast sprinter, and Lexi Lamont from Aberdeen. So it's hotting up for third, but it's still Mulgine Bearsden out there in the lead with Ren 96 in second. West Lothian coming back, and Aberdeen. You can see on the splits there in the pool, but they're not going to have enough to catch Mulgine Bearsden, I don't think. Are they going to catch Ren 96 though? Cara White's got them breathing down her neck, and I think it's going to be Mulgine Bearsden with West Lothian and Natalie Moody coming back strong. Don't think she's going to have enough water to catch up Mulgine's Chloe Kirk, and it is going to be Mulgine Bearsden followed by West Lothian and Aberdeen in third. Nice swim there from Mulgine Bearsden, 4:16, 4:7, so that's a nice improvement in their entry. Natalie Moody coming back a train, West Lothian getting second, only half a second behind at the end, with Aberdeen just about a second behind to take third.
Yeah, M&B, they're very consistent across the 4 swimmers, weren't they? And it's just holding that lead, and then on the anchor was Emily Dawson able just to pull away a little bit and take the win. So we go to the third and final heat in this 14-16 relay. We've got Dundee City Aquatics in 0 with Riley McIntosh, City of Glasgow 18 with Ava Ross, South Lanarkshire 18 with Coco Croxford, continuing her busy morning. Layla Weatherspoon leading off for Hearts. Warrender in 4 with Caitlin Reid. East Lothian with Anna Lawson in 5. University of Aberdeen with Maddie Cool in 6. Dumfries with Molly Irvin Watson in 7. Aberdeen Dolphin with Ailsa Club in 8. And City of Glasgow B team with Caitlin Morton in lane 9. On paper, this will be a battle between Warrender, East Lothian. Both entered on 4:04s. Doesn't always work out like that, and no surprise to see Layla Weatherspoon, gold medalist on Wednesday night in the freestyle 100, off to a strong start. Also in lane 2, and is Coco Croxford. Well, we've seen what she could do already this morning. Up in lane 7, good start from Molly Irvin Watson, also been on the podium in freestyle. So they're the 3 early leaders. And Dumfries, in fact, getting the touch, 1:00.80 at the 100 mark. So that is a couple of seconds faster than the previous heat. Hearts in second. Very, very tight, though, between these two. On the second leg, for Hearts, it's Isabella Cohn. For Dumfries, it's Amber Hinton, the distance specialist. Lane 2 going well. Casey Dixon now for South Lanarkshire. You can see there in the blue cap in lane 2. Warrender are starting to make their move. Alice Perry in for them, but they're still in 5th place. University of Aberdeen in 4th with Jessica Kirkwood on the second leg. East Lothian have a lot of work to do to justify their seeding. At the moment, they're well back. So the advantage at the moment is very much with lane 7, Dumfries, just ahead now of Hart, South Lanarkshire and Warrender. Can Dumfries hold on to this? Coming up to halfway. They go through in 2:01.82, so no doubt these swimmers all faster than the previous heat. So it's Dumfries, University of Aberdeen, Warrender. Now the 1, 2, 3 in for Dumfries, Anna Dunlop. For University of Aberdeen, it's Emmy Aitken, and for Warrender, it's Kiana Kurtzer. Behind them, it looks like South Lanarkshire with Lucy Hunter, another who's having a great meet. And just inside them, Heart of Midlothian with Emily Neal. So they're still in 4th, but Dumfries still with a 2-second lead here. This could be a famous victory if Dumfries could hold on to this. From lane 7, Anna Dunlop is keeping it going very nicely. Warrender, though, have been building and building as this race progresses, and Kiana Kurtzer putting in a very good 3rd length here. So it looks like they are just about on terms now, just a little bit back on Dumfries as we go to the final swimmers. It is Millie Colvin for Dumfries, it's Phoebe Arbuckle, the distance specialist for Warrender. University of Aberdeen in 3rd. They have Madison Stewart on the anchor leg. Behind them, well, it's close. Hearts with Lily Mundell, so she'll be fast. But it looks like it's Warrender who are moving through now. So Phoebe Arbuckle, well, she had a really thrilling 4x2 victory on Wednesday, just touching out City of Glasgow. This time it looks like it's going to be a bit more straightforward because she is dominating Dumfries down the stretch here. Look at this race for 3rd. You can't see it just now, but I can tell you that there's a 3-way battle, possibly. East Lothian coming up. They were way back, and they are coming through for 3rd with Zara Kravis on the anchor, but it's going to be a Warrender victory pretty comfortably. A great contest from Dumfries to take the silver, and East Lothian with a storming final 50 there. 30.1 for Zara Kravis earns East Lothian the bronze medal, but Warrender Bars 4:03.64 will take the gold, and that is a storming swim from them. Dumfries, great swim from Dumfries there. They came in on a 4:09, took that down to a 4:06, and East Lothian 4:07.39. They claim bronze ahead of South Lanarkshire and Heart of Midlothian.
And breathe.
And breathe, yep.
What a race. That was super. Dumfries, a surprise package there, I think. That was excellent racing. And we're now going to move on to the second last race of the morning swimming. We have the first heat of the female 17 and over 4x100 freestyle relay. You can see on the screen there, they are your teams. So it's Best and 0 going off with Amy Owenson. Ella Chalmers from Eithin in 1. Carnegie's Hannah Anderson in 2. Isabella Abernethy for Aberdeen Dolphins in 3. Warrender Bath with Alex Coy in 4. Emma McGavin, South Lanarkshire in 5. Dundee City Aquatics with India Leonie Bryden in 6. 7 is Highland Swim Teams, Caitlin Urquhart. And Step Rock from St Andrews, Isla Headley going in lane 8. And so 8 teams across the pool, maybe Highland with Caitlin Urquhart just slightly ahead here, but very close really across 4 or 5 swimmers, not a lot between them. And it is Highland who take that touch at the 50. Caitlin Urquhart 29.6, but not a lot between the top 5 there, half a second between 1st and 5th. And it's coming through strong as well in lane 4, Alex Coy from Warrender, but it's India Leonie Bryden in 6, Caitlin Urquhart in 7 for Highland, and maybe just Alex Coy for Warrender going to edge into the lead at the first takeover here. She's handing over to Natalie Zetto, and it is 101.63 there. Natalie Zetto in, Highland's next swimmer. We have is Alison Wood. Dundee City Aquatics is Anna Easton, and it's still those 3 teams pretty much in a line. Natalie Zetto trying to fend off Dundee City Aquatics, Anna Easton. And she's maybe just edging ahead of the others, but not that much. And she is. She's got a 1/10 of a second now over Warrender. Highland slipping back into third, but they're not that far behind. Still close, coming through strong in 3. It's Aberdeen Dolphins' Rebecca Shand, and she's had a cracking second leg for Aberdeen here, really pulling them back into contention. Dundee City Aquatics, Anna Easton handing over to Emily McGee. Warrender, next swimmer is going to be Naomi Wilson. A really good swim here for Aberdeen Dolphins as Rebecca Shand hands over to Olivia King in third now. Highland swim team is going to be Charlie Adams for them. It's really 4 teams, nothing between them. Cracking relay heat again, or relay swim again. 4 teams competing, coming through strong is best with Lucy de Grossa. They're not out of it. And they've come back really strong on this third leg of the relay. Golly, 5 teams now with exactly a second between them. Aberdeen Dolphins, Warrender, Best, Dundee City Aquatics are equal with Best on that turn, and then Highland. So this is a cracking first heat of this female 17 and over relay. Looks like it's Aberdeen Dolphins with Olivia King fighting off Naomi Wilson, and these 2 teams have all of a sudden just maybe got a body length up on the rest of them. And Aberdeen Dolphins, Olivia King handing over to Jessica Beaton. Zara Smith going in for Warrender. And it's Kira Pemble for Best. And they're the 1, 2, 3. They've got a good lead over Dundee City Aquatics now. That's going to be Darcy Reid going in for them. And it's a super leg here for Jessica Beaton, Aberdeen Dolphins. She's fine fending off Zara Smith. Who's going to take the edge as they come into this final 50? It's still Aberdeen Dolphins. Zara not too far behind. It's going to be a close one with Jessica Beaton and Zara Smith now. Really fighting hard as the super final 50 from Zara. She's taken over from Jessica Beaton, and she's going to take this one. I think it's going to be the Warren B team. Had a cracking final half to this race, and Zara Smith has really pushed on as she comes through to take this one from the Aberdeen Dolphins team. So it's going to be Warren B who take this one in a 4:12.98. That's a nice improvement on their entry. Aberdeen Dolphins do take second, and third Best came through well in that second half of the race to take that third place. So good race there with the Warrender team, Zara Smith in particular at the end, just pulling through. Alex Coy, Natalie Zetto, Naomi Wilson and Zara Smith. We're just waiting for confirmation.
It's always a bit nervy in a relay when there's a bit of a delay as to whether there's a report coming in.
Screen has gone blank in the venue. It's still blank, so we've just got to wait. It may not be a problem with takeovers. Often the timing might have just needing fixed.
Oh.
But it is, oh my. 2 disqualifications there. So Warren de Bass, Aberdeen Dolphin in second. It doesn't affect the top 3. But South Lanarkshire and Dundee City Aquatics disqualified for technical infractions there.
So I'm sure these 10 teams will be told no flyers, but
very hard,
balance, isn't it? You don't want to sit around on the blocks. You want to get a good takeoff, but you don't want to put your team out. So here we go with the second heat. So it looks like we don't have a team in lane 9. So the lineup is first in 0 with Caitlin Frame, Sterling swimming with Susie McNair in 1. University of Stirling B team with Jay Blake in 2. West Lothian with Natalie Marshall in 3. University of Stirling A team with Michaela Glenister. What a week she had last week. Warrender with Rosie Forster in 5. University of Aberdeen with Mary Mischenko in 6. City of Glasgow with Stella McCarty in 7. And Hearts with Lucy Atherton in lane 8. So Stirling University, the B team is taking it on here, 28-11. So interesting to see how the University of Stirling has selected their teams. Of course, they need times to qualify for the British Summer Championships relays. You only take the times from here, which is why these senior swimmers are up here. And it is the two Stirling University teams who are up there. Kenna Glenister, of course, much more used to the longer distances, but she goes through 59.33, a couple of seconds faster than the first heat. University of Aberdeen touching second as we go to the second swimmers. It's Josephine Klein for University of Stirling A. It's Marie Wood for University of Aberdeen in lane 5. It's Warrendon with May Rogers, then lanes 1 and 2, Stirling Swimming with Perry Scobby and University of Stirling B with Alana McDonald turning together. But it's the University of Stirling A team. They will be the favourites, you would think, for this. 1:28.13, now up by half a second on the University of Aberdeen. So Marie Wood trying to stay as close as she can to Josephine Klein and doing a pretty good job of it. Also pushing on well Perry Scobby in lane 1, and beside her is Alana McDonald for the University of Stirling B team. So these 5 teams all pretty close to halfway. 2:00.48 is the halfway split. Into swimmer number 3 then, Catherine Bailey going for the University of Stirling A team. Jory Horn for their B team. For University of Aberdeen, it is India Marshall. And beside her in lane 6, well, she's in lane 6, Warrender with Katie Rose in lane 5, and she is starting to push on well here, moving Warrender into second place. Stirling Swimming have Megan McDonald on the third leg there, down to 5th place now. As the front, it is still University of Stirling, around about 2-3 meters up now on Warrender, with the University of Stirling B team in third, as University of Aberdeen just fading in this third leg. So it's looking pretty healthy for the University of Stirling to take another female gold medal. 2:59.78 with 100 to go. Anchoring for them is Nellie Kinch. It is Ashley Drake in for Warrender. For the University of Stirling B team, it's Rebecca Schulman. And in lane 6 for University of Aberdeen, it's Maria Howe. So there your top 4, and there we see Nellie Kinch coming up towards the final turn for the University of Stirling. 3:27.45, that is about 13 seconds faster than the previous heat. So no doubt she's got this. She's 2.5 seconds clear of Warrender. Now you can see Warrender, they are clear in second place. It looks like University of Stirling B will hold off University of Aberdeen for third. So that is, I think, going to be your 1, 2, 3 on this last race of the morning, with University of Stirling bringing it in. They are going to take gold in a time under the 4 minutes, 3:57.21. So nicely done for them. Warrender takes second, just over the 4 minutes, 4:00.76, but they were entered on 4:02, so I think they'll be pretty chuffed with that. And the Stirling University B team, 4:03.82 for them in third. Great final. West Lothian swimmer on the anchor leg there to move themselves up to 4th. Mia McLeod going very fast there on that last leg to just get past University of Aberdeen. But there'll be your top 3. They were all faster than the previous heat. So University of Stirling A team, Warren de Bass, and University of Stirling B team.
No disqualifications. It's good. So that's that confirmed. So I'm just going to move on to the presentations now. For both of those relays, up first of the 14 to 16.
So there they are, ready to be presented. East Lothian, the bronze medalists there, looking pretty pleased with themselves. So the bronze medalists then for the East Lothian team, Anna Lawson, Kate Nolan, Lucy Hall and Zara Kravis. storming last leg from Zara there to earn that bronze. But of course it is a team of 4 that get it. What a good race from that Dumfries team. They pick up the silver medal. Molly Irvin Watson, Amber Hinton, Anna Dunlop and Millie Colvin. The quartet there. And some youngsters in that team as well. So Amber Hinton just 14 there. And our champions are Warren de Baas. See there, their winning time 4:03.64. So the lineup: Caitlin Reed, Alice Perry, Kiana Kurtzer, and Phoebe Arbuckle.
Well done, the swimmers. That's your gold, silver and bronze medal teams there. Warned are convincing winners at the ends. Well, that does count for the team champs, but the next one doesn't, I don't think. So it's just for qualification at British and getting the glory.
Yeah, because they have potentially over 18s and therefore doesn't count for an age group program. So the teams have their photos taken, because all the clubs coming up to get photos of their quartet, as well as the Scottish swimming photographs that you'll see on social media. So one more presentation to go before we're done, and that is for the 17 and overs. So they'll be just sorting themselves out before they get up onto the podium. So it's been a good morning, Tony. What stood out for you this morning?
Well, I think it's nice to see Scott get his 3rd title of the championships, having not had any before that. It was clearly, I think, that men's 50 freestyle, especially that 16-year age group with Dean and Harry this afternoon. I think that's going to be this evening. That's going to be a cracker.
So there we go, the Stirling University B team getting the bronze medal. So they are Jade Blake, Alana McDonald, Jory Horn and Rebecca Schulman. The silver medalists ready to get their medals, and that is the Warrender team. There they are. Line up there: Rosie Forster, May Rogers, Katie Rose and Ashley Drake. Always think of Ashley Drake as the Terminator in that Warrender relay team. Yeah. Always does the anchor leg, always seems to nail it.
Absolutely. It was good to see her nailing her individual event this week as well. She got a bronze in the 100 free, so that was good to see her come through. But you're right, always rely on Ashley at the back end of a relay.
And there are your champions, the Stirling University team. So hopefully that time will give them a good seeding for the summer when they all descend on Sheffield in July. And the lineup: Michaela Glenister, Josephine Klein, Catherine Bailey and Nellie Kinch. So they seem to be enjoyed their little trip up for relay swims up to Aberdeen. It's been lovely having them here. And particularly when you think of the likes of Michaela having swum the distance events down in London last week, then to come up and do it for the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done, Michaela, and Catherine Bailey for that matter as well.
Yeah, no, it's good to see. Good bit of team
and
spirit
also
there.
Great for the younger swimmers to see these senior swimmers showing what they can do, even if it is just in the relays. So that's it. You see, we'll be back for 1:45 start. We'll come on air at 20 to 2. We hope to have your company for the heats for the younger swimmers in day 3. But from myself, Duncan McKinnell, and from
Tony Rose, nice to be here this morning, and we'll see you later on today.
Very good afternoon.